G'day guys and welcome back to your English Aussie. We are live with our Game Week 34 Deadline stream. That is my new intro music. I'm sure you guys would have seen recently over the last few weeks. I've had a bit of a update to my some of my videos, trying to improve some stuff for you guys as well. So yeah, that's the new intro at the moment. I'm working on my dad's actually plays a bit of guitar. I'm trying to get him to do a riff for me. So once he sorts it out, that might change a little bit, maybe for next season. So yeah, started a bit early this week. I was at home, had brunch with some mates, and then I was home and I sorted everything out early this week. So it was nice and easy to slide straight into it for you guys. And yeah, I think, hi Gary, how you going? We've got our first comment in the chat. Please rate free hit team. Leno, Robinson, Aït-Nouri, Trent, Bruno, Kluivert, Salah, Palmer and Bumo, Isak, Cunha and Jimenez. Yeah, well, I mean, maybe we talk about this alongside sort of, this is obviously my free hit team that I've got above here. There are a few thoughts that I have surrounding it. And yeah, I just sort of, maybe we run through some thoughts that we got. I'll turn off subscribers only mode for now. And then maybe once this gets a little bit busier later on, I might have to turn it on again. I know last week we had a big rush of stuff to get through. So yeah, looking at your team first, Gary. I think Leno in goal, really nice. Obviously against Southampton, probably the fixture that a lot of people are targeting this week. One of the things I would say is that I think Southampton have actually improved lately. I know it's obviously from a very low baseline, but I would say they've definitely improved going forwards. They have shown a little bit of attacking threat over the last few games. And defensively, they definitely have got a little bit better. So I do still think this is a great game, a nice fixture. Fulham are a decent defence, although they haven't been fantastic over their last sort of 4 or 5 fixtures. So I think it is a fine pick. Maybe we can discuss some of the other goalkeepers as well. I've at the moment gone for Kepa, Arrizabalaga of Bournemouth. I do think that it is likely that Man United are going to heavily rotate their team. They obviously have a midweek game against Bilbao in the Europa League. And that's the only way that they've got a chance of making it into the Champions League next season, by winning that. Same goes for Spurs, really. They've got their sort of midweek game against Bodo Glimt. They're going to also, I think, most likely rotate, if not rotate very heavily, against Liverpool as well. So yeah, I think Leno's a nice fixture. Kepa is also quite nice. And the other one that you probably want to just keep an eye out for this week is Newcastle versus Ipswich. So Newcastle at the moment are going to be playing a very weak Ipswich team. Abhishek, hey mate, welcome back to the chat. Raul or Wood? I think that's a tricky one. Like, as I was saying, I do think Southampton have got a little bit better. And I think Forest against Brentford is actually quite a nice fixture for Chris Wood. Forest, especially on that counter-attack against a Brentford side who like to play sort of in transition, struggle defensively in transition as well as a good offensively in transition. I'd probably go Chris Wood. But I think that's a very, very close call. And I was tempted to say Raul just because of the Raul Jimenez, just because of the fixture. But I do think I just just like the clinicality, if that's a word, of Chris Wood this year. So yeah, the other goalkeeper that I am interested in is Pope of Newcastle. So I do think Pope has been in good form for Newcastle. Other than that 4-1 loss to Aston Villa, Newcastle have been a really nice run of games. Ipswich have got so many injuries this week. Like, I guess you can see on screen right now. Maybe I can pause that. Smodic, Muric, Philogene all out. Leif Davis is now suspended. Townsend, Broadhead out. Burns, Ogbene, Phillips. They've got 8 players injured, 1 suspended. And then Delap obviously sort of coming back to full fitness. Hutchinson potentially. Didn't hear any team news from McKenna. He is a little bit coy in his team news sometimes. So he's also a possibility. But that is 9, potentially 11 problematic players for Ipswich, which obviously could be an issue down the line. It does feel like Newcastle, that is a game where they could heavily score. So yeah, I guess the toss-up there between Pope is, do you want the 3 Newcastle offensive players in your side? Into the defence there, Gary, you got Robinson, Ait-Nouri and Trent with... No, you haven't showed the bench, okay. Yeah, Robinson, Ait-Nouri and Trent. Now, I'd probably say for Robinson, I think Sessegnon's a better pick. For me, he's going to be playing right wing for Fulham. From the press conference, I sort of got the idea that he was going to be starting and probably playing 60, 70 minutes based off the comments that were made. Harry Wilson probably comes on off the bench for the last sort of 20, 30 minutes. And that, for me, as a defender, is pretty much ideal what you want. He's got the potential to get attacking returns because he's playing in that right wing role. He also comes off at 60, 70 minutes, which means if they do concede a late goal, he's already been subbed off and keep those clean sheet points. So for me, I probably prefer Sessegnon over Robinson. But yeah, potentially Robinson for sort of a backup pick there. Ait-Nouri, I think, is a wonderful pick. Against Leicester, obviously struggling to score goals. And with Leicester's most potent attacking threat, other than Jamie Vardy, of Mavididi, was called out that he was injured this week. So he probably won't be able to take part for the rest of the season. Definitely out for this week against Wolves. So I think that Wolves clean sheet is looking nicer and nicer option at the moment. Wolves obviously been on a great run of form as well. I think 5 wins in a row for them at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, is it 5 wins or 6 wins for them? 5 wins in a row and 1 draw against Everton. So yeah, Wolves on like a really fantastic run of form. That I think definitely something that you want to look at. Yeah, Abhishek, I'll get straight to yours as well. I do like that Alisson in goal pick for Liverpool as well. But the thing is with Tottenham is that they do have the ability to obviously score goals. And it just depends how much Ange decides to rotate as to how much threat they cause. I would say for him, I'm not sure what the goalkeeper you have on your bench are. There's a few options that I do like a little bit better. I do like that Leno versus Fulham. I do like the Kepa v Man United rotation. And I do... I like Jose Sarr, who has been past fit for Wolves against Leicester. And I honestly think Jose Sarr is sort of creeping into my thinking as maybe the top goalkeeper to go for this week against Leicester. So I guess both of you guys, Ait-Nouri, I think, is a really nice pick. Obviously talked about Sessegnon, Abhishek, you've got him. And then Livramento and Trent as your other defenders. Look, I think Trent's not going to start. I don't think he'll start for Liverpool. I think Conor Bradley starts. I think Conor Bradley plays 60, 70 minutes. I think Trent comes on for the last 20. I don't think he's back to full fitness yet. You could see he was only able to play 20 minutes. That's what Slot called out last week. I can't imagine that suddenly he's going to come back and start over Conor Bradley, who they're looking to give some back-to-back games. I do expect Trent to come on in a game where Liverpool are likely to win the title. He will finish on the pitch for Liverpool, just because he's been such a big part of Liverpool's history, that I think that there's no way that Trent doesn't finish on the pitch for them. So yeah, definitely wouldn't be starting Trent in your teams. I wouldn't even have him in a free hit team at all, to be honest. Not even on the bench. Livramento, I like I said, I think he's obviously, if you looked at his heat maps of late, he's been picking up some super high positions for Newcastle up the wing for Newcastle. And I think, he could be a great pick against an Ipswich side who've suffered a lot of injuries this week, roughly around 9 to 11 injuries that they've already got this week. So definitely could be a good pick. Bench. Cucurella is probably, I would say I prefer over Livramento, but I think it's a close call. And that's really just due to goal threat. I think if you look at my team, you see the back three. I'm very set on my back three defence. They're definitely not going to change. I really do think they're the best three picks, and that's because I think all three of them have a goal threat. I think the only other person that I would see has a similar sort of threat or potential is maybe Fabian Schär at Newcastle, and he was probably in contention for me, but I just felt that the positions that these three take up, they just have a lot more threat. Into the midfield, so you guys have any similarities? Obviously, both Salah, we don't need to talk about him. I think he's a fantastic option against Tottenham. I've actually got my captaincy on him at the moment. I think captaincy is a bit tricky this week. I have been tempted with a Newcastle midfielder, perhaps a Murphy or a Barnes. I do think they're both going to start again. I would be surprised to see Gordon come back into the starting lineup. They've both performed really well, and Newcastle have been on a great run, other than that 4-1 loss to Villa. Others that you've got the same: Palmer, Iwobi, Bowen, Palmer. Yeah, so you've both got Palmer. Would I go Neto over Palmer? CR7, LM10? No, I wouldn't, just because Palmer's on pens. Even though he's been in bad form, I think really Everton is a tough game. And I wouldn't pick Palmer because Everton are conceded the fourth least goals so far this season. Their defence has been super solid, even since Moyes has come in. The defensive solidity that they built under Sean Dyche hasn't gone away. The one thing I would say that I would guess that Palmer is not too bad a pick is that Tarkowski did get injured for Everton last week, hurt his hamstring. And then when Michael Keane did come on, Everton did look a lot more vulnerable. And I think David Moyes even said it, that it's a little bit different once Tarkowski or Braithwaite gets injured. You got to have someone to come in and cover. And I think the question is this week, does he go with O'Brien at centre-back or does he bring in Michael Keane again to play, who had a bit of a tough time, I think, last week in the back end of that game against Manchester City, really struggled. I think Palmer's probably a no for me, but I would definitely go Palmer over Neto if I was choosing, just because Palmer's on pens. He's obviously on those close range free kicks as well. For me, I would try to avoid Palmer based off the Everton defence. If you do feel like it's a nice fixture for Chelsea, I think the only way that I could support that is obviously Tarkowski's injury. In terms of your other midfielders, Clive Gary, I think, is a nice pick. Obviously, again, I would assume he would take penalties over Evan Nilsson. There is a small chance that Evan Nilsson does come and take penalties. But I do like Clive. Nice pick. Heavily rotated Man United side, most likely, for that Bilbao midweek Europa League game. And Bumo, again, a penalty taker. You can never really go against a penalty taker, even if it is a difficult game against Nottingham Forest. I don't hate that as a pick. Bruno, for me, I'm not sure he starts. I'm not sure United field a full-strength team. So on a free hit, he's probably not someone I'd go for. You got a lot of potential options that you could go for. For me, I just think Bruno just has that potential not to start this week. So that's why on a free hit, you got a bit of space to go for whoever you want. And then for you, Abhishek, obviously Bowen and Iwobi in there in the midfield. Iwobi against Fulham. Look, if you are going to target, Iwobi against Southampton. If you are going to target a Fulham attacker against that Southampton defence, I probably prefer Jimenez slightly, just because I think Iwobi's finishing has not been great generally, although he obviously showed me last week with his finish, which was top class. But I do think he kind of snatches at the ball quite a lot. He generally goes power over placement, and his placement is a bit wonky time to time. He does have the chance to grab goals and assists here and again. I'd probably say he's somewhat like I would say he's a little bit of a better Brennan Johnson, in my opinion. Like, he's a bit more creative, does have that ability for assists. Maybe that's a harsh comparison. But yeah, I don't mind him as a pick. I think I wouldn't be going for Iwobi and Jimenez in your team there, Abhishek. I'd probably go for one of the two. But I do find the midfield quite difficult to pick. But I do see you've got Murphy on your bench, and I really like the Newcastle fixture against Ipswich. I would probably sneak in Murphy over Iwobi and leave Raul up top if I were you. And then Jared Bowen, again, most probably on penalties against Brighton. Penalty take is never a bad pick. Brighton obviously concede goals, not super solid at the back. They've conceded 2 last week, 2 the week before. But there's 2-2, 2-3, 2 in their last 5 games. They've conceded 2 or more goals, so definitely potential for goals for West Ham. I guess the only thing I would say is that Graham Potter's team do struggle to create too many opportunities. I would also say that I think Brighton and any Brighton players, such as Akauru Mitoma, who they did mention was fit, would be a really nice differential pick in that midfield. And I think one of the places he is really good is that he's fantastic using his pace in transition. One of the places West Ham are still really bad, even under Graham Potter, is defensively in transition periods. And I think Fulcrum blew up in one of his interviews for West Ham talking about how poor West Ham defended in transition. So for me, I think Bowen's a fine pick, but also have some consideration potentially to Mitoma in that game as well, who could also be a nice pick. CR7 LM10, would I go for Wood instead of Raul or Cunha? I think I said I'd probably go Wood over Raul Jimenez. I think it's a very close call for me, but I just slightly prefer Wood due to his sort of clinical finishing. Cunha, I think I would have as... I think Isak and Cunha are 2 first-choice strikers, and then you fit a third one in there. I think Cunha's ability to, one, be creative and find assist points, and just be involved in all of the Wolves' creative build-up play is very important, as well as his ability to score goals. And then because he does do that, say Wolves just score the 1 goal in the game, or maybe they score 2 or 3 goals, but all different goal scorers. Cunha's 1 goal and the fact that he's involved in so much of the Wolves' play generally means his BPS is quite high, and he tends to pick up the 3 bonus points just for 1 goal. So he could score a goal and end up with 9 points, whereas maybe some of these other guys that do score a goal perhaps aren't involved in all of the other build-up play as well, such as, for example, Raul Jimenez and Chris Wood, to be honest. They're more finishers of the plays. So yeah, for me, I think Isak and Cunha are the top 2 picks. Isak, I think, and you both got both Isak and Cunha in your team, and obviously Raul Jimenez, Gary and Abhishek. So I think Isak, for me, stands out to have a good week this week, because I think where Ipswich are quite vulnerable, and you probably saw this a lot if you watched the game against Arsenal, is the cutbacks from the wing positions. And again, with Leif Davis out this week, there's going to be a lot of moments where perhaps Murphy exposes whoever's playing, maybe a Greaves or or the new young kid from Ipswich, I can't remember his name, might start a left back, and there's a chance that maybe he gets exposed by Murphy. They target that side. He's able to cut the ball back, and Isak's movement in and around that sort of 18-yard box, 6-yard box is very, very good. So I do think that he is a big threat this week. And the more I talk about it, the more that I look at my team and go, why is my captaincy not on a Newcastle player? And that is probably one decision that I haven't fully come to terms with in my head yet. I think the thing that scares me about Barnes, even though I think he's going to play, is that he plays 60, 70 minutes, or for some reason they start Gordon this week. That just puts me off the captaincy slightly, whereas I know Salah's going to be 90 minutes. No, I think I'm pretty comfortable with Salah. I do think that this match, and the reason that I do have Salah for that captaincy, is you know how Ange's going to set up. You know how he's going to play. Then the Tottenham are not going to change their style of football. Liverpool are not going to change their style of football. It's going to be a very combative game. They're going to both try and counter-attack on each other. I'd like to think there's a lot of sort of fast-paced counters and breaks. And in those moments, that is where Salah's most dangerous. I wonder whether Jed Spence gets a rest in that sort of left-back role for Tottenham, and maybe Reguilon plays there. I wonder whoever does play there, have they had enough minutes to be able to cope with Salah? I do think Liverpool have not been fantastic of late. And yeah, I mean, if you look at their last few results, I mean, you can see it from their last few results. 1-0 v Leicester, 2-1 v West Ham, 3-2 loss to Fulham, 1-0 win against Everton. And yeah, I guess those 4 fixtures really prior to their 3-1 win over Southampton, they've really been struggling. And I think it comes off the back of that sort of Carabao Cup loss to Newcastle. Frescoa, hey mate, yeah, this is my current free hit team for 34. Feel free to put yours in the chat, mate. I haven't seen you here before, so if you want to put yours in the chat and we can talk through some points. Yes, as I was saying, I know Liverpool haven't been fantastic since that Carabao Cup loss to Newcastle, but I think this game being one game to win the title, you're on the fence about Trent. Yeah, I don't think Trent will start. I mean, I would say I'm 90% confident that Trent does not start. So I would definitely not have Trent inside. He wouldn't even touch my bench because he's like, my view on Trent is, my view on, I can talk through both your questions actually. And do I think Cunha goes to Man United next season? Maybe. He definitely goes somewhere. United are going to have to win the Europa League for him to go though. Yeah, Trent for me, like, he was obviously only fit to play 20 minutes last week. He ended up getting 27 because of injury time, but Slot came out and did say he wasn't fit for the 90 minutes. This week, I'd be surprised that he's suddenly fit to play a full 90 minutes. And I do think they're trying to gear Bradley up to play back-to-back-to-back fixtures, which is something Slot was talking about. However, I definitely think Trent comes on off the bench. In a game where Liverpool need to win this game to win the title, they're going to want Trent on the pitch at the end of the match. Given his contributions to Liverpool over the years, he'll be on for the last 20, 30 minutes of that game for sure, especially if Liverpool are winning. And I do think Bradley's probably not quite ready for 90 minutes yet either. Maybe he is, but he will still come off, I think, towards the end. So yeah, Trent for me is definitely no-go. Risk triple Newcastle defence. Now, look, I love Newcastle v Ipswich. Ipswich, as I was mentioning earlier, have 8 injuries, 1 suspension to Leif Davis, and then 2 in Delap and Hutchinson that potentially will play. So they are way like undermanned. And I think particularly the Newcastle attack might have a field day against them. The only reason I don't say the defence as well is because I do think Liam Delap, if he plays, is a threat in general. But yeah, I don't mind probably a double up on Newcastle defence at least. Is probably okay if you're not confident in a Barnes, Murphy, Isak double. at least. But I do really like the Newcastle attack this week. I think they could score quite a few against Ipswich. Agar, your thoughts on starting Sarr versus Kepa? Yeah, I like it. I've got to be honest, I was talking today and I was talking about Wolves, I'm talking about Leicester, and you heard the team news come out of Leicester about how Mavididi is injured, possibly for the rest of the season, but definitely out for this game. And he's been Leicester's most potent attacking threat for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, not that they have been much of an attacking threat, but I mean, Vardy's not been really that involved in the game. Mavididi's been the one creating stuff for them. So, and Jose Sarr has been past fit and available for the game this week, after obviously missing last week with that like back, I think spasm, or I'm not sure exactly what happened to him, but it was in the warm-up. But yeah, he has been past fit for the game this week. So yeah, I've definitely thought about potentially changing that. I really do like Kepa. I like Kepa against United. I do think United, sorry to United fans in the chat, I know we always have plenty. I think United are in the Premier League a bit of a shambles at the moment, and they're going to be heavily rotated, or at least rotated, if not heavily rotated this week, to prioritise that match against Bilbao. So I think both Kepa and Sarr are pretty good. I definitely don't mind Sarr over Kepa. Fresco, Pope 8 Nuri, Trippier, Sessegnon, Salah, Clive at Palmer, Mbumo, Isak, Cunha, and Raul. What main changes would you make? Defense I like. What like my personal preference here, and this is a personal preference, is that I would go 1 Newcastle defender and 2 Newcastle attackers, and that's just mostly because on free hit, and that's just mostly because I think that Ipswich are very vulnerable on their wings for sort of cutbacks into the box, and I think Isak's movement for Newcastle is something that's is probably his biggest strength is his movement. I mean, he's a great finisher as well, but I think he's fantastic at moving in the box. So I do think that, I mean, maybe Murphy up against whoever plays at left back for Ipswich, considering Leif Davis is suspended, you get either Jacob Greaves or the new kid that I can't remember his name from Ipswich plays at left back, and then potentially they can expose that, cut it back to Isak. And I think you saw when you watched the Arsenal, if you watched that Arsenal v Ipswich game, like the amount of chances Saka created or got into, I know he didn't score, but he could have had like 3 goals in the first half from that sort of right wing position. Barnes' minutes might be at risk with Gordon, but Gordon's been back for a couple of weeks now, and I think Barnes has just been in such great form that I expect him to start again. But I've got to be honest, like I do think that his minutes are going to be down. Like, he probably plays like 70 minutes. Gordon plays 20. And there is this very small chance, there is a chance that Gordon starts after the loss to Aston Villa. But I think that would be really harsh on Harvey Barnes. I think he's been really great. And even in that Villa game, he managed to get an assist. So, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's really the case. I just think it's a case of the team's been in form and they're continuing in the good run of form. Frescoa, sorry. So I think, like, why would they bring Gordon back into the team? It was a really stupid red card he got to miss the biggest game of probably Newcastle's history in the last 30, 40 years. And then Barnes has come in, won the cup, and just played brilliantly ever since then. I don't know why he would... it would surprise me if Eddie Howe rotated that side. It would really surprise me if he rotated that side. So I think Barnes starts. Henry, what about Sessegnon minutes? Again, I think Sessegnon's going to start. I think in the press conference... I'll come back to your team, Fresco, don't worry. That's probably what I would say as well on Palmer. But yeah, Sessegnon, I think, like, per the press conference, sounded like Harry Wilson's back, sounded like Harry Wilson's going to get some minutes in that Fulham side. But for me, he did say Sess has been playing really well. So I imagine Sess starts, plays 60 to 70 minutes, and that's perfect for a defender. That's what you want, really. He's playing right wing for Fulham, potential to get attacking returns in those first sort of 60, 70 minutes, and then get subbed off before the last 20, 30 minutes. Get that clean sheet in before they can see the late goal. I think Sessegnon's an absolute lock for me in the side. So on Palmer, I don't think Palmer's a great pick for this week. I'll give the pros and cons. I think the cons for me, obviously, Palmer really out of form. Chelsea particularly, like, not very well in form. snuck a win over Fulham, I would say, last week. Everton conceded the fourth least goals in the league this year after Liverpool, Everton and Forest. So very good defensively. And I think that the only sort of pro I would say for Palmer, or maybe two pros, he has that haul capability, but we haven't seen it of late. And I probably more instinctively look at form. And two, Tarkowski got injured last week, and right towards the end of that Man City game. And as soon as he came off and Michael Keane came on, Everton looked way more shaky defensively. So the discussion for Moyes this week is whether he moves O'Brien into the centre-back role alongside Braithwaite, or he plays Michael Keane again. And that's sort of the trouble for me. So yeah, for me, I don't like Palmer just because I think, Chelsea are not in particularly great form. Palmer's not in particularly great form. And I don't particularly like the fixture against Everton. So yeah, I'd probably go for a Murphy, or maybe a Murphy if you want to play safe for Palmer. Otherwise, the rest of the team I like. I think the rest looks good. Using the same logic, why Captain Salah is he's in bad form. Okay, if I talk through Salah, and I understand what you're saying, and I would probably say the only surprising part about Salah is it's probably more the Leicester game for me. So Salah last 4 games, right? Only he's managed 1 assist. The Everton 1-0 win, I could have told you he wasn't going to do anything. David Moyes specifically built a game plan to build a wall and stop Salah, double team him every possibility. The Fulham game, my guess was that he probably wouldn't do that much. He actually had a couple more chances than I thought. Anthony Robinson's super physical with him, was that in the first game as well, is also very fast and able to keep up with him on counters and stuff. So I actually thought Salah wouldn't return that week. Again, 2 weeks in a row, I just didn't captain Salah. I didn't even think about it. It just wasn't a thought that crossed my mind. West Ham, he obviously managed to get that assist. I thought Liverpool came out first half. He played really well, was really involved. Second half, I don't know what we were doing, really. The team didn't play very well. Niels, good evening. See you on a little bit earlier than expected. I was. And welcome to my first or my second member of the channel. And I think the first member of the Elite membership channel. So thanks, Niels, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Memberships are live now if you do want to join and support the channel. If not, please like the video. If I've been helpful for you guys so far, please subscribe down below. It really does help my channel. We're just a small channel at the moment, obviously trying to grow that base, and just liking, subscribing, anything that you can do to support the channel really goes a long way in helping publicize it on YouTube and sort of get more viewership and just give me that sort of energy to keep going. So yeah, sorry, Fresca. So on Salah, yeah, I think the West Ham game, it was okay. I thought he didn't play too badly. The second half was a bit rough. And then Leicester was a bit disappointing, but I actually thought Luke Thomas played at left back for Leicester and just like defended him so well. I've very rarely seen someone defend Mo Salah so well. Even the little chip balls that they played to try and stop him from getting in behind. So I was really impressed with the way they did defend him. He still did have a few chances, didn't quite manage to get away. So look, in that essence, I think I agree that he possibly, didn't finish as well as he has done before. But the fixture against Tottenham, I see very differently. As Slot said in his press conference as well, same for Ange, is sort of, they know how each team's going to play. Tottenham are not going to change their style of play. Ange is not going to change his philosophy. Slot's not going to change his philosophy. I expect there to be a lot of transition football, a lot of counter-attacks. I think that's when Salah thrives. When he can get one-on-one with defenders, he thrives. I also think Tottenham are going to be heavily rotated because of their Bodo Glimt game in midweek. And I think Tottenham are even more likely to heavily rotate, just given the amount of unfortunate injuries they've had this season. And it's a huge game for them. Like, the Premier League almost doesn't matter as much The Europa League, they've got a chance of getting into the Champions League. Like, Ange's got to save his season there, really. And it saddens me to say, because I love Ange, he's obviously an Aussie. But that they need that a lot. So for me, the Salah captaincy is same way I look at a lot of players. He's a penalty taker. The matchup is really nice against Tottenham. The last game against Tottenham, he got 2 goals, 2 assists, 21 points, feeding off that transition. Diaz also scored 2 goals. So I think it is a really good fixture for Liverpool. It's also one that if they win the league. So there's a lot more motivation for a lot of those players to go out at home at Anfield. The crowd is going to be mental there and hopefully push them on. So that's sort of my theory behind Salah as captain. I do think, though, that I think Newcastle players would be very, very close for me as second in captaincy. I do feel if I knew Harvey Barnes was starting and I thought he'd play like 80 minutes, he'd probably be my captain this week. I'm very close to Isak as well. I think with Ipswich having 8 injuries, 1 suspension and 2 potential maybe injuries, like they're just missing so many players. And Newcastle obviously playing for a lot as well. A lot of motivation, a lot of things on the line. They're gonna put a few past them, I think. Niels, what are your thoughts on Palmer captain if you're chasing? I know you've been big on Everton defence. Yeah, I think, I don't know if you joined the chat yet. I'd say your pros for that is Tarkowski injury, and once he came off against Man City, Everton defence did start to look a little bit more vulnerable when Michael Keane played there. I don't know whether Moyes is going to go O'Brien into centre back or start Keane, but I do think they might have more vulnerabilities this week. But I do also have to say, I just don't think Chelsea have looked very good. I just think Palmer's also not been sort of getting into those nice positions he was previously. So I'm not sure I'd go for him as a captaincy option, but I think if you're chasing, I'd probably go for a Newcastle captaincy option. I like Murphy, I like Isak, and Barnes, I'd sway away from captaincy just because of that small chance that Gordon starts. But I don't mind him as just a pick in the team. I think like if he starts, he's going to do well for me. If he doesn't, I got the wrong pick. I'm willing to live with that. But for a captaincy, I wouldn't be willing to live with that risk. So it'd be a Murphy or an Isak for me if I was going captain, not Salah. If that sort of makes sense, Niels. I don't know what your... did you send me your team? I can't remember if I already replied to you on that. I think I did. CR7, LM10, start Cucurella or Livramento. Already have Trippier. Already playing Trippier. Yeah, I would then go Cucurella for sure. I think I'd like to have 2 Newcastle attackers. And I think Cucurella, for me, he's in my team. Like, my back 3, I'm not changing. Like, Fabian Schär was the only one that might have a chance of getting in there. But I think Sessegnon, Cucurella, Nuri are probably the 3 players that have the biggest chance of getting attacking returns of all the defenders this week. And I do think if Everton are going to sort of sit back, Chelsea are going to commit more and more players forward. That's one of the times where Cucurella advances. Also, the fact that Gusto is out. So Malo Gusto for Chelsea is often someone who inverts from right back and plays super high. When he's not doing that, Cucurella is able to do that from the left side. So I really think Cucurella tactically might have a nice game against Everton and really be in with a chance of getting a couple of goals as he has done this season. So yeah, I guess I have obviously spent a lot of time thinking about this sort of 3-hit team this week. So I do have like my sort of articulated reasons behind why I've gone for the team. I do think there are definitely some picks that you could go for instead for this team. I like Mbeumo. I really like all the... I don't think you can say any penalty taker is a bad option this week. Like, I could say Mbeumo is a good option. I could say Danny Welbeck's a nice option. Jimenez is a nice option. You think Welbeck would be a better option than Evan Nielsen with João Pedro out? Yeah, again, I totally agree with that. Trailblazer, not necessarily better option, but I agree that he's a good option this week. With João Pedro out, he's going to be on penalties. Like, he's going to be playing the same role, though, ultimately. Like, Welbeck's going to play the same role he always plays. Like, João Pedro plays in behind him. Murphy's boring. I want a proper differential. As in for captaincy. I don't know. I feel like that's definitely a differential. Murphy, Isak, I think Isak maybe is probably more likely to be captain, but I would say Murphy's a big differential as captaincy. Oh, as a player, yeah, that's why I went Barnes. I just went Barnes over Murphy. Over Palmer, yeah. So for you, Salah, Clive at Palmer and Bumo. I like Diaz as a differential against Spurs. I like Matoma. I think Matoma against a West Ham team poor in transition. I think that's a good fixture this week. I also don't mind Anthony Elanga that no one's talked about. If he can, maybe the worry for him is fitness, and I think Nuno is probably kept things a bit close to his chest. But if he does get back and plays the 90 minutes against a Brentford team, that's where Brentford are. I think Nottingham Forest, Brentford, there could be a few goals in. I think that definitely could be a game with a few goals because very transition-based sides. No, like Salah is captain for same reasons as you. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's good. I like the people agree. Evan Nilsson better than Raul. Yeah, this one I tossed up a little bit as well. And I've got to say, I think with this one, if you went for Raul Jimenez, don't blame me for it. For me, I just felt like everyone, like any video that I'd watched this week or people that I'd talked to this week all had Jimenez in their starting 11. And yeah, I agree. It's a nice fixture. It's against Southampton. He's probably on pens. Just don't love Fulham offensively. I prefer Bournemouth. I think Man United, apologies to the United guys on here, but in the Premier League with a rotated team for the Europa League in midweek, probably going to be a bit shambolic defensively. Georgios Ioannidis. Cypriot or Greek? Go on, be a Cypriot. I got my Cyprus shirt on today. Cyprus national cricket team. Representing. Greek. Sorry, man. I mean, not too far away, right? I'm Greek Cypriot, so my Greek is not very good though. I can count. I can do the numbers. I can say a few phrases, but not particularly amazing. Nice. Gumbare. TAA, big risk, big reward, kind of. Yeah, look, I think I said earlier, Georgios, I don't think he's going to start. I really think Connor Bradley starts. I think TAA comes on for the last 20 minutes because, like I said, Liverpool potential to win the league this week. I do expect them to beat Spurs' reserves. Potential to win the league, so he comes on for the last 20 minutes, able to celebrate with the fans at the end of the game. He was only fit for 20 minutes last week. There was no comments this week about him. I don't know whether he's suddenly going to be fit to start the game. Connor Bradley's obviously been playing well. Slots talked about trying to get him back-to-back games. Obviously, the struggle is that Trent is here at the moment. This is an opportunity for him to get back-to-back experience playing in the Premier League. I think he gives Bradley the start. He gives Trent another week to get back to full fitness. Trent probably comes on off the bench, plays today, and then maybe starts the last couple of games for Liverpool. Probably his last 2 games in a Liverpool shirt as well. So yeah, my general thoughts are don't even have Trent on the bench in your free hit team. I don't think big risk, big reward, yeah, but I think the risk is way bigger than the reward for Trent. Especially with the defenders this week. I think we have some really nice defenders in there. Alternatives for Kepa, do not believe in Leno. I think Jose Sarr is one that I'm thinking of actually very potential swap. He's probably, in fact, I would honestly say Leno's probably not my second choice. It's probably Jose Sarr. I do have Leno on here at the moment. I'm just a bit lazy and I haven't moved him because he's been in there for a while. But yeah, Jose Sarr got past fit this week. They said he's back. He's available in the Wolves press conference. And for Leicester, Mavididi has been said to be injured, most likely out for the full season. Maybe comes back later, but definitely out for this week. Mavididi's been Leicester's biggest driving force this year. has been the main guy creatively over the last sort of 4 or 5 games doing stuff. So with him out, I mean, I think they're really struggling. So I would definitely say Jose Sa is very, very close to starting for me over Kepa. But I quite like the fact that I've got 4 different options for a clean sheet in there. Alisson in goal, decent or better alternatives? Alisson in goal is decent. I just think Spurs are not bad defensively. I'd say like even the Spurs reserves, like they have some players. Like Richarlison still a player. I'm not sure who's going to start in that Spurs team. Maybe Brandon Johnson. I don't know. Couldn't tell you who Andrew will pick in that side, but I don't expect him to start all his main guys. And Son's not fit anyway, so definitely going to be a little bit of rotation there. But yeah, I do think like Kepa, Leno, Sarr all a little bit nicer to me. I'd say a little bit more chance of a clean sheet for all of them. I'll just turn the light on in this room. It's a bit bright in my face. That's a bit better. Tell Odegaard Johnson. Yeah, that's probably what I expect it to be. Something like that. Maybe Sarr, Bergvall. Give them like 50 minutes or something, 45 minutes. CR7 LM10, can I rate your team? Leno, Aitnery, Livramento, Trippier, Salah, Diaz, Bowen, Mbumo, Cunha, Isak, Strand, Larson. Nice. Sorry, Sia. I think I missed your comment on Cunha and Strand Larson double up earlier. Yeah, what are my thoughts? Yeah, I think Leno in goal's fine. Obviously, I've talked through the goalies and like what my thoughts are. Other options, obviously, Sarr, Kepa. Defence, Aitnery, I think, is a lock in most teams. I think Aitnery is a lock in most teams. I wouldn't really like. I don't see any reason to go for somebody else. Maybe you could go for Semedo as sort of a differential, but I think Aitnery is just more attacking for me. Livramento, Trippier, interesting double up. Cucurella and Pope better than Livramento and another goalkeeper. Yeah, I like that. I prefer Cucurella and Pope. I think Cucurella offensively, and probably similar comment for you, CR7 and M10. I think Cucurella offensively could be a really good pick this week, just because Malo Gusto's out for Chelsea. I think I spoke about earlier, like Gusto likes to invert in that right back position. He inverts into almost like a 10 role for Chelsea, gets super attacking. The fact that he's out means that Cucurella probably inverts from left back. He inverts into like an 8, a 10, gets into the box so much. Very much chance of scoring. I think against Everton, who are a really stubborn defence, he's going to get further and further forwards. So yeah, I like Cucurella and Pope over Livramento plus GK. I honestly don't mind Livramento. Obviously don't mind him, but he does heat map, gets very high up that wing for Newcastle. But yeah, I say. Then looking at others, Salah, Diaz I like, obviously similar to my team, so I can't say bad things. I like Mbumo. I think a penalty taker is always good in your side. If they're a penalty taker, you can't really say. And I do think that Brentford Nottingham Forest game could be high scoring, so I think that's a nice pick that I don't think a lot of people will go for. Jared Bowen again, probably on pen to West Ham. Again, against Brighton, goals in that game. Brighton have conceded 2 goals in each of their last, 4 games or something, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 2-2, 2-3, 2 in their last 5 games. So definitely potential for goals. The only thing I would say is that Graham Potter and West Ham are not the team that have particularly been there to look to team that are going to score multiple goals. But I mean, Bowen's the most likely of the bunch, so I don't mind it. But I think there are probably other potential options there. And then Cunha, Isak, Strand, Larson. I actually quite like the double Wolves lineup up top. I think like Cunha and Isak really should be a lock in most teams, and that third striker spot is the one that you can play with. Yeah, I really don't mind it. Strand Larson is a double up. It's nice, bit different. And then bench, yeah, I'd probably just move Kukurea into that starting lineup. Andrew, retracted message, mate. I think you were messaging about your team. If you chuck it in again, I can talk to you. Talal Al-Shamari, I have wildcard and bench boost. Should I build my team depending on double on game week 36? What's your team ID, Talal? We can pull it up on screen. We can have a look, mate. We can go through it. Kukurea in for who? Probably one of the Newcastle defenders. Who plays right back? Is it Trippier left back? Livramento right back? Remind me which way around this is. I'm going to just check quickly. Where's he been starting? Andrew, yeah, I'll get to your team in just a second, mate. Because I'd say I probably prefer the right back for Newcastle this week. Just because Leif Davis is out for Ipswich, and there is a chance that they either start Jacob Greaves there, which is, I think that's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, Trippier is right back, isn't he? Yeah. So yeah, I probably prefer Trippier over Livramento, just because he's on corners, like set pieces, stuff like that as well. But also, yeah, I think they can expose that sort of left hand side. There is a potential that man, I've got to find that kid's name for Leicester, Samari or something. Yeah, I think Graves will start, but if Graves doesn't start, then sorry, not for Leicester, for Ipswich. Boniface, that's the kid. Somto Boniface. Hasn't played a Premier League game yet this season, but he's the other left back that could potentially start for Ipswich. So, yeah, just bear that in mind. I slightly prefer Trippier. Andrew Kepa, Hoysenkirk. Ooh, nice. Triple Bournemouth. Rane Nouri. Salah Diaz, Barnes Murphy, Isak, Cunha, Strand Larson. Yeah, so you're obviously back in the fixtures, right? You're back in big rotations for Spurs and United. Ipswich, obviously, with 9 injuries or 8 injuries, 1 suspension, 2 potential additional injuries. So it could be 10 injuries and a suspension. And then, yeah, Leicester just being shit. Sorry, excuse my French. Fresco, team ID 544559. Yeah, the only thing is, like, I can't see your. I'll pull it up on screen now. I can't see your free hit changes that you've made this week. 559. Joe. Is this you? Murderon does a dance floor. Nice name. Yeah, so free hit, it's your last chip, right? Green arrow last week though, nice. Yeah, so just on free hit this week, mate. Unfortunately, I can't, like, on the free hit team, you obviously can't see people's teams at this stage, because obviously then you could just check all your rivals' teams and make sure you choose different teams for them each game week. You can only see it after the game week starts. But this is more for me to sort of look at the structure of your team and see how you go further forward. So Talal Al-Shamari, if you can give me your team ID, mate, I can pull your team up on the screen like this, and we can then we can sort of talk through your wild card this week, will you? Yeah, but it'd be good to see what chips you have as well. No, all good, fresh guy, mate. It's just, I think this is a really useful website as well, to be honest, just to like look at your team and this, and also plan.f. They're all free websites, right? I never recommend any of the paid ones. It's just a waste of money. Just pay me. Give me a super chat. Just being a great bloke. So the other one I like is Plan FPL, which is quite nice. which is just planfpl.com. And you can use this to sort of look at future weeks and what your team will be, and then like plan some transfers. So if you look at mine, like this is roughly my free hit for this week. This is what my team would come back to next week. And then I was sort of looking about what I wanted to do. And I made the transfer to bring Mbeumo in potentially for Saka is probably... I just don't think Saka, if Arsenal keep going in Champions League, I just think Saka was a mistake from me, but I just wanted him for the double game week. So yeah, and guys, we got 26 on stream at the moment, 27, 28 watching or something, or 208 views. We've only got about 15 likes or so smash that like button if you are watching. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy listening to me chat shit on footy, and yeah, I really appreciate it. Super help my stream, super help my channel. I'm just a small channel at the moment, trying to grow, compete with the big guys. I think my analysis is a little bit different, a little bit more on the tactical side of stuff in football. I can tell you about the stats as well, but I think that's pretty obvious. Like, it's pretty easy to just put up a list of stats every week. So, yeah, I really appreciate it if you guys can help out any way you can. Yeah, thanks a lot. So, yeah, I think, yeah, for me going forward, it's probably Mbeumo in 35, 36, maybe. Who did I bring in here? Elanga against Leicester. And then, yeah, I'm just looking to see sort of what my transfers would be down the line. Watkins maybe in 37. Just a little plan. Marino maybe in against that Southampton fixture in 38. Still worried about Sessegnon start. Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends the risks that you want to take in FPL this season. And what ones you want to take. I think Sessegnon probably starts. I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, I think he does probably start. Just should publicise my stream on Twitter, I forgot to do it this week. But yeah, like my guess based off that press conference is that what's the most high risk, highest reward team as I need to catch on some mini leagues? Which mini leagues, mate? Why don't we have a look? You tell me. You'll come on. Full on stream now. Let me tell you the leagues. Holstead Massive, Mystic League, Norfolk Massive, or Fantasy Fools League. YouTube, you're in the Let's Talk FPL League. Mate, you got to join my league. Join the league code will come up after the team news somewhere. You know what? I can put the league code. Let me do it. That's a proper league. Don't worry about Let's Talk FPL, mate. I'll give you the real stuff. Got a second chance league as well. Fantasy Fools League. All right, let's pull that up. Not sure how it's going to show on stream here. All right, so what I can see, and it doesn't quite show on stream because it's just out of view, is that you are, like 50 points off Elliot. Change name, Kent. Has he got any chips? Let's have a look. All right, so he's used all his chips. He's used all, including the free hit. So he's in a bit of trouble this week. He's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people blanking. And one for each. He's going to have to take a -4 if he wants to put out 11 this week. Because he's got Gvardiol, Marmoush, Hall, Eze, Mateta. I missed the other one. Asensio, all blankings. That's 6, right? Gvardiol, Eze, Asensio, Mateta, Marmoush, Hall. Yeah, so he's got 6 blankers this week out of 15, so 9 or really 8 with 2 goalies. So he's gonna have to get into 3 players. So he's gonna take a -8 if he wants 11. Baruta, Michael Guida. What's up, mate? How are you? Good to see you coming back into the chat. Good luck. Who's your captain this week, mate? Have you taken a -4? Tell the chat. So is it Mikkel? Mikal, or is it Michael but spelled Mikal? Is the god of -4 picks. This guy, he can pick a -4 and he'll get like 16 points. Big man Isaac is captain. Nice. Also, great bloke. Follow him on Twitter. And if I remember you, I know it's Baruta, but I can't remember your actual. He's at FPL_Devils on Twitter. Top guy. Great posts as well. Angelo1234. Not even thought about replacing Cunha with Strand Larson, given their fans want Cunha benched. I hadn't really. My guess is that Cunha plays. And I think that if he doesn't play, Murphy's first on my bench. I can't see Cunha being benched for because of the fans. That would be a big call for a manager when he's your best player in the side. Jonesy, what's up, mate? Where have you been? Palmer is out for Dangerous Hall. Max, man, I don't know. Not sure. Against Everton, it's a tough one. How's it going? How's my team looking? Yeah, so sorry, fresh go, mate. So I do think like you don't need to go super differential this week. I think if you're going to go differential captain, it'd probably be Murphy for me. Like your competitor, Elliot, doesn't have Murphy in his side. He has Isaac, Salah. So probably one of those two are going to be his captains. And then I think the rest of your team is going to be differential enough. I think you just pick the best free hit you can. And that's the best way to probably to take him out this week. He will have a couple of... he does have Hodgson in the defence, so a Bournemouth defender might not be too bad to keep yourself in the loop. What's my team? This is what I've got at the moment, Jonesy. My top 5 players for the free hit. I would say my defence is an absolute lock for me. I would not change them. As in my 3 defenders. The goalie maybe Jose Sarr. But Sessegnon, Kukurea, Nuri, definitely my top 3. Any Newcastle attackers, I would say Isak's must. Salah is okay, but good. I'm hopeful that he's my captain. Is Barnes a rotation risk? He is a slight risk, but my guess is that he starts, given his great form. I think it would be crazy for Eddie Howe to come back in and start Gordon suddenly after Barnes has been doing so well. Hey Talal. Yeah, we can look to do a wildcard team for you in a bit, Talal. Just bear with us for a sec. Why is Kukurea showing as away at Everton? It's a good question, mate. Yeah, it's a good question. My mistake. Easy mistake to make, mate. And do you know what? Just because I don't like having errors in my slides, I'm going to have to fix it on the fly. That's right. That's what I need. Good from you guys. Fantastic free hit, my mate. I'd probably go Trent, not Sessegnon, but he's risky. I don't think Trent starts, Baruta, mate. I thought it was live app. Nah, just me, mate. Just creating my slides. No, that's good. Tell me the mistakes. That's what I want to hear. I'm trying to just stick out a tweet for my deadline stream at the moment. At the same time as answering your questions. I sent the ID, but it doesn't appear for you. I don't know why. Don't copy and paste the ID into the chat. Actually type it out. That's always been a problem in YouTube live stream. For some reason, it does that. This is the link. Get that onto my Twitter account. Lomi, what's the thought process with Kepa over Leno? I mean, Leno's probably my third choice goalie. I would say it's Kepa and Sarr and then Leno. The thought process was Man United heavily rotated team. Edwin, as always, mate. I know you always love a spicy differential, mate. Jonesy's in my chat with the team IDs. I see you, mate. I see you. Yeah, where's this flipping deadline stream thing? All right, let's just post that on YouTube. We're in. All right, let's get back to business. So, not sure on Evan. All right, what was I missing in here? Yeah, so let me just quickly review some previous comments from people. So Barnes' rotation risk, there is a risk. I do think he starts, as I mentioned. Yes, Jonesy, you can do your teams, but if you're on free hit, obviously I can't see what you've gone for at the moment. So I'll just have to pull up your current team. You're on 2 free hits. Yeah, so the 2 free hits we just talk through, and then you'll just screenshot what you've got, send it to me on Twitter if you want, or just post the team in the chat if you can type it in, if easier. Or if you send it to me on Twitter, that's fine. And then, Lomi, sorry. The thought process is starting Kepa over Leno. So, I think Man United are going to be heavily rotated this week, given their Europa League fixture midweek against Atletico Bilbao. So therefore, I think they're already struggling offensively. I think they'll struggle even more, especially if they rest Bruno. Leno, I think Fulham have not been great defensively over the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks. I think Southampton have slowly been improving. I do think it's still a good fixture. I do think he's still a fine pick. It's just the way the trends are going at the moment. I didn't love it, and I wanted to do something a little bit different, given that I think a lot of people will be on Leno. I think my second best option, or joint first with Kepa, will be Jose Sarr. Sarr, as in the press conferences, was said to be fit. Come back this week after his back spasm last week in the warm up. So he'll be playing for Wolves. Leicester have just reported that they lost Mavididi. Mavididi has been their bright spark offensively of late, their main driving force in the attack. Leicester have been terrible offensively as well. So I think that's a huge loss for them. So I think Wolves, also 5 wins in a row, have been playing well. I think that's also a nice pick as well for me, Lomi. Edvin, need to make a free hit team. Any spicy differentials to include? Want to go a bit different? Honestly, mate, I think my team does have a few differences in there, and I think Evan Nilsson's probably one of them that people probably not going to have up top. I really like that Bournemouth fixture against United for them. That's why I've gone double Bournemouth. I think most people will have Sessegnon and Aït-Nouri. I think Cucurella's a really nice pick. Offensively wise, no Malo Gusto for Chelsea. He won't be sort of inverting into that 10 role. That means Cucurella is most likely going to be inverting up into the sort of 8-10 into the box role for Chelsea. So I think that's really nice. I think Mbumo could be nice against Forest. I think Wissa could even be nice against Forest. I think that game might be a lot more transitions than we've seen in the past from Forest in terms of having to get back defensively. Maybe a little bit more open than I've seen in the past. But we'll see. I don't like Cole Palmer. I spoke about it earlier on chat. My pros and cons were horrendously out of form. Chelsea haven't been fantastic. Everton have been the 4th best defence this year. Not 4th best. I mean, they've conceded the 4th least goals this season after Liverpool, Arsenal and Forest. The other side to that is Tarkowski got injured in Everton's last game. Keane came on as a replacement for him at the back against Man City, and then Everton started to look a little bit shaky. So that Tarkowski injury might be quite big for Everton. But again, just Palmer's form, Chelsea's form for me is just a big red flag. So yeah, just doesn't. I don't see him turning up. So I've gone with Salah. but reluctantly, I would say that my honest view, I just think Salah he just has the potential to go so nuclear that it's so hard to captain against him in a good week. But I think Newcastle players have just really nice fixture this week. I think they're going to smash Ipswich. I think it could be a big score. So I do really like the Newcastle attack this week. Palmer will turn up, would be differential too. Pick him, mate. Pick him, Max. You got to go with your gut calls, man. Sorry for my ASMR again today. Yeah, you got to go for your gut calls. If that's what you think, like, I think the midfield, like, you can listen to me tell you all my reasonings for all these people all you want. Ultimately, outside of Salah and probably +1 Newcastle, no, I mean, really outside of Salah, you could pick anyone. You could really pick anyone. There are obviously just some picks that have a little bit more upside than others, in my opinion. If in your opinion, Palmer has a much bigger upside, you got to go for it. But I just think, yeah, what I've watched of Chelsea tactically. Thanks, Max. Appreciate the sub. Shout out to all of you guys if you are watching at the moment. We've got like over 250 views, so we only got, I think I can only see about 25 likes or something. So smash that like button on the stream if you can. It really does help out a small channel and a small YouTuber. Subscribe if you enjoy my reasoning, my content, my general. Just me. If you just like me, if I'm a good bloke, just give me a sub. And yeah, any small bit of support really does help the channel massively. It helps us to grow, helps us to push out to bigger audience. So yeah, I really appreciate that. If you're thankful for, and I am very thankful for anybody that does do that. We do have memberships. If you do want to support the channel monetarily, there is a membership, but don't feel obliged. Liam, do I like Jimenez this week? I like Jimenez this week. Good fixture against Southampton. Southampton, obviously, one of the worst defences. Conceded plenty of goals. Don't think he's a bad pick. He'd be my third pick. Like I would. What I'm saying is Isak Cunha, I think, definitely better. And then you have a third striker pick. I've obviously gone Evan Nilsson, but definitely could be Jimenez. Superb channel. Thank you, Jonesy. You're a superb viewer, mate. Always love having you on the channel, chatting through stuff. And I will pull up your teams in just a second. Last week I changed the decision for Trossard for KDB because of YouTuber. I learned hard way, so you're right about following your guts for real. Yeah, look, I think it's nice to like bounce opinions off people and stuff. And like in this channel, like sometimes I'll talk to people and people will be like, "This is why you should do this," and I'll be like, "That's actually quite a good idea." So, I love the live streams, to be honest. I love chatting to you guys because people come up with different ideas, and I obviously have to give my reasonings behind everything. And sometimes like people will challenge those things and then, we'll have a conversation about it. It's great. I'm not always right. None of those big YouTubers are always right. In fact, a lot of them are often wrong about stuff. So it's good to be able to have a conversation in the live streams, I think. I think that's the important thing about this. And that's why, as a sort of small YouTuber, it is a bit easier for me to sort of have these discussions with you guys, help you out, bounce ideas off you and stuff like that. I mean, I obviously do put in a lot of research behind it and thought into like why my decisions are my decisions. So hopefully there's a couple of things that you'll hear that you like and you'll be like, okay, I hadn't thought about that, and then maybe might help shape your decisions. But if you feel really strongly on something, like, if you think, do you know what, Palmer's got really explosive potential, I need him in my team in case he gets a big haul, whack him in there. Small, but will grow very quickly, mate. Appreciate that, Max. Appreciate that. We have been growing super, super fast this year. I only started doing this in like game week 10, 11, because I was getting a bit pissed off. Like that, I just I watched it and I didn't feel like anyone gave any tactical analysis on the footy. Like it's really easy putting up statistics, honestly. Like any of you that watch this channel, if you want to start a YouTube channel and put up statistics, not that hard. But I would say the work behind it, like doing the slides, preparing, like thinking about who you want to pick, etc. And then talking into a camera for, today I'm going to have done 4 hours. It does take a lot of time out of your week, and especially if you're working like full time, maybe it's a little bit easier for people that do it full time job, but yeah, definitely full time is tough. Anyway, let's answer your questions and stop talking about me. No one wants to hear about me. Jocks, Pope and Cucurella or Trippier and Sanchez? I would go Pope and Cucurella, mate. That's my thoughts. Michael, thoughts on Cunha captain? I actually don't mind it, but I generally just prefer midfielders as captains just because they get that clean sheet point potential and they get the extra point for a goal. And I just feel like that makes a difference. And they're involved a little. Cunha is a bit different. He's involved more in the play, so he has that ability for BPS. So Cunha of the strikers I like because he's creative as well and has that ability for assist potential. And then when he does score one goal, because he's been involved in the play, can get the 3 bonus points just for that. And Jonesy, I'm going to get your teams up before I just leave you in the lurch, mate. So I won't actually. Maybe I can sneak a cheeky Twitter photo onto the screen now. But for viewers, Leno in goal, Trent, Robinson, Ait-Nouri, Barnes, Murphy, Salah and Bumo, Strand Larson, Cunha double, Isak, and then Diaz-Kirkes, Hodgson on the bench. Yeah, look, like I said, Paul, hello, mate. Welcome to the chat. So Paul was my very first member on the channel. Followed by Niels this week, who's also a second member. So thank you. Shout out to Paul. Morning and welcome to the channel. You're out in South Africa, isn't it, Paul? Cape Town, I think it was, wasn't it? So yeah, welcome back. Good to have you. And give us a shout if you need anything on your team. Obviously, members skip the queue. So just a reminder if anybody wants to get themselves in. But in the meantime, I'm trying to find a way of getting Jonesy's team, sneaking it up on the screen here from my Twitter chat, which I can't really do. Jonesy, struggling, mate. Struggling to get that up. So sorry. You're going to have to live without that on screen. But yeah, I think Trent, for me, is not going to start. So probably someone I'd look to move out. Then yeah, Robinson I like. I obviously like. I think Sessegnon has the more attacking potential, but I think Robinson like quite nice as a separate pick. Also a little bit safer. He's going to start. Also has assist threat. Ait-Nouri I think's a lock. Leno in goal. We've sort of spoken about the different options for Leno. Maybe a Jose Sarr, maybe a Kepa. But obviously good fixture against Southampton team. Not particularly fantastic going forwards. Midfield, Barnes and Murphy. Double up, I really like. Sorry, hiccups. It is a bit risky, but I think a very good chance of them demolishing an Ipswich team with 8 confirmed injuries, 1 suspension and 2 possible injuries. Salah, Cap and Bumo, no issues with either of those. FPL Honey Badger, fan power to impact on Cunha playing at all. Strand Larson safer bet? Nah, I don't think so, mate. I don't think the fans have the power to affect that starting lineup that much, mate. And I think Cunha is a big player for Wolves and somebody that they want in the starting lineup, because if they are going to sell him, the more he plays, the better it is to sell them for money. So yeah, I think he might go at the end of the season, but he'll probably play this week. And then yeah, up top, Strand Larson, Cunha double up with Isak. Yeah, I think differential, mate. That is a bit of a differential going double Wolves against Leicester. Some other thoughts, just Evan Nielsen, Welbeck on pens. Jimenez against Southampton, but I guess you've got a couple in there already. I think those are probably this. What else? Well, any other strikers that I think of this week? Maybe a Chris Wood. Yeah, Chris Wood. Chris Wood against Brentford as well. Could be a good shout out. So yeah, like both of those. Was that the only team you sent me, Jonesy? Yeah, because I can't pull it up on screen. Even if you've done the transfers already, they won't show up on game week. Because otherwise, you'd be able to see your like direct competitors in your league's teams, which obviously a bit unfair. Okay, so getting back to those other comments. Please like and subscribe, Paul. Yeah, totally agree, Paul. Couldn't agree more, mate. Yeah, guys, smash that like button. Get some additional likes on this stream. Get it out to more people. Get more people in the chat. Have some more engaged discussions. Subscribe if you can help out. Appreciate it. Become a member if you want to have that nice little TEA badge next to your name in green like Paul. And yeah, appreciate you greatly, Paul. Jonesy, no worries. Send the other team over on Twitter. Yeah, mate, that's great. Baruta, my mate, man. We got a lot of big guys in the chat today that we've had from back in the old days, and some good mates at the moment I've got in here. Missing Finners, where are ya? Finners lost Aussie abroad. There's a few lads from right at the beginning that aren't here. Who's the best differential captain this week? Adam, currently on Salah. Do you consider Isak a differential captain, Paul? I would probably say a Newcastle player. If Isak's not a differential for you, it'd be Murphy for me. I wouldn't want to risk Barnes. I know I got Barnes in the starting 11. I'm willing to risk him as a player because I think his upside is good. I think if he starts, I'd slightly prefer him over Murphy. But yeah, otherwise Murphy would be my captaincy pick, against Ipswich. Leif Davis is obviously suspended at left back for Ipswich as well. Murphy's on that right wing. He could potentially expose Greaves if Greaves plays there, or Boniface is the Ipswich youngster that has a chance of starting. Yeah, I think Murphy's nice. That's probably where I'd go. I am bullish on Newcastle against Ipswich. I am bullish on that. No worries, mate. Cunha is leaving for United under a clause in his contract. Fabrizio rate the negotiations are very advanced. Baruta. Interesting. Is that on Twitter? Fabrizio chucked that in there. I mean, he probably wants to show United that he's a gun. If that's the case, no? I mean, look, I think the thing is with Cunha is if he's getting benched and doesn't start because he's either leaving or because they don't want to play him because of this stuff, he's not going to come on off the bench. Like, if he's not in the starting lineup because he's leaving the club, he's not playing full stop. They're not bringing him off the bench for 20 minutes or 30 minutes because what do Wolves really have to play for? If he's getting dropped from the side, he's gone. So yeah, I guess that sort of answers your question as well, FPL Honey Badger, on the fan power impacting Cunha. Stan last safer bet. Whoever's first on your bench, probably important if you do have Cunha and he doesn't start. So I think for me, I got Murphy first on my bench. I'm pretty happy with that. If he comes in, I'm more than happy to have triple Newcastle in there starting. So yeah, I think that's the way I'd think about Cunha. I think he's higher upside. I'd rather have him than Strand Larson, and I'd probably rather have Murphy than Strand Larson as well. So yeah, either way. Jonesy second team. Let me read this. Small text, mate. Sorry, bad eyesight. Sells in goal. Hang on, mate. This is not free hit team. Oh, so we can put this team up on the screen. We can put this team up on the screen. This is not a free hit team. Team 2. 8796998. Pereira told yesterday evening that Cunha is concentrating on playing Wolves and he will be involved. Interesting about him. Free hit 34, probably safe pick. Yeah, I think with Cunha, like, I'd have him in the team. Yeah, I think he's not a problem to have in. You've done some transfers. How many transfers you done, mate? Roger Saliba. Looks like have you taken like a -8 on this team already? You had no safe transfers. What's my hot... Hey, Quevin! What's happening? What are you doing here? It's good to see you, mate. My hottest take for this week. Ooh. Spicy. Kevin with a Q. What's going on? My hottest take for this week. Don't know if you want to know about that, mate. It's the Scotch fillet that I'm putting on the barbecue tomorrow. That is my hottest take for this week. Did -4. Yeah, what are the transfers in here, Jonesy? Tell me. Is it the same as that bottom team that you've got? Sells in goal. It can't be that team, right? Sick invite. Nah, mate, you're done. You're out. Just me. Were you at the pub on Thursday? No, you weren't. Did you win the meat box? No, you didn't. Did I win the meat box? Yes, I did. Sorry, Kevin with a Q. Yeah, I won the meat raffle at my not my local pub, but one of the pubs I go to on Thursday with a bunch of my mates. And old mate Kevin with a Q has joined the chat, who's obviously going to be very disappointed in himself for missing a weekly pub session and missing out on the meat box main prize. And the bottle of wine as well, FYI. On free hit, start Clivert or Welbeck. I'd probably start Clivert, Ethan. Probably start Clivert. I think Welbeck would be on pens as well, but I prefer the midfield, as I've said previously. You get the extra point for the goal, and you get the potential for that sort of clean sheet points as well. Barry, hey bud, no keeper this week based on the bench. Do I -4 to bring one in? I'm playing Wildcard next week. Probably not, mate. I'd probably go without the keeper. You're playing Wildcard next week, yeah. Well, I guess your thoughts are, do you think they're going to kick... I tell you what, this is your gamble. It's a -2 +2 gamble. It's not a big gamble. So pick whoever you think's most likely to keep a clean sheet, whether it's Sarr, Kepa or Leno. You get it right, you get 2 points. You get it wrong, you get -2 points. If you think of it like that, they're probably not going to concede 2+ goals in any of those games, so they'll get 2 points. So I think if you're pushing for that +2 and you're trying to gain rank, go for it. If you're maybe in your mini league and you're playing off against somebody that you don't want to lose to, maybe not worth the -2. Early at it, teach me tips as always, mate. Always here early for you guys. This week I started like something crazy. 4 o'clock. Already done 2 hours. 4 hour stream this week. Gonna be crazy. Okay, Jonesy, I understand your team now. So after transfers, and you've only got 10 playing players, mate, I wouldn't change anything if you've already made those transfers. I think you just leave that team as it is. I think you've already taken like a -4, -8. Do I watch Copa del Rey? I normally watch highlights, mate. I normally don't watch the live games. Too much football for me in the week. I've got to take a break and like spend some time with my mates and watching the basketball. I watched the NBA, man. The Lakers Timberwolves today was crazy. Couldn't believe it. I thought the Lakers were going to win. Jay, I've gone really aggressive for this game week. Allison, Cook, Cess, Nuri, double up on Newcastle, Barnes, Murphy, Salah, Diaz, Larson, Isak, Raul. Mate, I love that, Jay. That's like Barnes captain, very risky, but everyone else would probably captain Salah or Isak. Yeah, so I guess the couple of things I'd say is if you want to go for like also like this this differential captaincy shout, I'd maybe go Murphy just for the small chance that Barnes gets benched for. Yeah, mate, I'm a Golden State fan as well. To be honest, mate, I'm a bit of a fanboy. I support Steph Curry and I love Steph and LeBron, so I don't deny that I'm a massive fanboy in NBA. I just enjoy like watching them play. But now I'm absolutely loving Luka at the Lakers. It's unbelievable. But yeah, big Steph Curry fan, mate. Big Steph Curry, big Golden State Warriors fan. Yeah, sorry. So what I was saying about captaincy between Barnes and Murphy, I'd probably think about maybe just going for Murphy as the safer bet as the captaincy, as a safer captaincy shout, just because there's that small chance of maybe Gordon starting over Barnes. I think Barnes will start, personally. But from a captaincy perspective, and that's why I've got Barnes in my starting lineup. So if I chuck mine back on, obviously got Barnes in my starting lineup. But from a like captaincy perspective, if I was to captain someone, I'd probably stick Murphy in there for Barnes and captain him as a differential, just because you know he's going to start. He's going to be up against Ipswich fill-in left back, so either Greaves or Boniface there, because Leif Davis is suspended. So maybe I would say, Jay, switch to maybe the Murphy as a differential captaincy. Rest of that team I really like. Like your back three is exactly who I've got, and like they're an absolute lock for me. Would not be changing them. Burns and Murphy double up. I've definitely considered. Going there. If Gordon will come on for Murphy, I think this is what happened recently. Yeah, I think that's like definitely something you can consider. But what I would say is that I think Barnes probably still plays only 70 minutes, maybe 75 minutes. I mean, he played 75 minutes last week against Villa. Murphy played 64 minutes last week against Aston Villa. So like they both came off. They're both not potential. They might not potentially get the full 90. I think you're right. I think Barnes is probably a little bit more likely to get that full 90. But yeah, I mean, it just depends on how much of a risk you're willing to take. I think if I was already taking the risk on a differential captain, I'd want to make sure that differential captain is going to be starting. So that's probably that's why I sit with Murphy. But look, you got to go with your gut on this. Like, captaincy is so important. It's where you get make up a lot of the points in the week. So yeah, go with your gut. But I think if you want to take a little bit less risky differential, you go with Murphy. Yeah, Salah and Diaz I like, again, similar to my team. And then Larson, Isak, Raul. Interesting you went for Strand Larson over Cunha. Is that just to be a little bit differential? Otherwise, yeah, I definitely prefer Cunha to Strand Larson for me. Who's more safe, Murphy or Barnes for game time? I guess it's Murphy's more safe for starting. If Barnes start, he's probably more likely to get the 90 minutes than Murphy. So if I were to guess, I would say Barnes starts and plays 90 minutes. And Murphy plays 75 and comes off for Gordon. That's going to be my guess. Johan Wickham, Kepa versus Sarr. I already have Ryan Aït-Nouri. I think both are very tight call, mate. I really like Sarr, and I'm sort of, as this stream goes on, edging towards Jose Sarr a little bit more. Also, with the news that Mavadidi's injured for Leicester as well, that's a big loss for them. That he's their sort of most potent attacking threat, I would say. I know you got Vardy in there as well. Quantum, hi mate, just saw Baruta's tweet and clicked through this link. Who do you think starts, Jota or Gakpo? And assuming Jota starts, would you take him over Diaz? Firstly, Baruta, absolute legend. He, in this chat, is Michael, can't remember your last name on this chat, Michael. Goida, sorry, apologies for forgetting that. But yeah, Baruta is absolute legend. And Baruta, shout out if you retweeted that, mate. You're always a big supporter and a top bloke as well. So thank you for that. And who do you think starts, Jota or Gakpo? Assuming Jota starts, would you take him over Diaz? Look, so I think the Liverpool starting lineup's been hugely in flux of that left wing and forward role over the last few weeks. And they've played Diaz and Jota, they've played Gakpo and Jota, and they've played Gakpo and Diaz. All in the last 4 weeks they've played those. And I would say the only thing is that Diaz has probably played more of the game weeks than he hasn't. He's probably played 3 out of the last 4 of them. I know Gakpo probably nursing a bit of a niggle, but my guess would be Diaz starts. So you mean Jota starts? Would I take him over Diaz? I wouldn't take him over Diaz. Jota's finishing. He's not been great this season so far. And Diaz against Tottenham, he scored 2 against Tottenham earlier in the season, and that's because of the counter-attack. And you know Ange is not going to change his methodology against Liverpool. They're still going to attack them. Liverpool is still going to try and break with a lot of pace. That's where Diaz is the most dangerous, along with Salah. I think Diaz and Salah I'd rather have over Jota. I hope Diaz starts. There is a chance that it's Gakpo and Jota, but I just have a feeling that it will be Diaz. And I couldn't tell you if it's going to be Gakpo or Jota. Couldn't tell. I think probably Jota, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I would go Diaz over both of them. This is the thing with free hit. It's so difficult to plan for one game week, but this could all backfire, and I'm here for it. Do you post a game stream to reflect on points? I'll post a post game stream to reflect on points. I can't, honestly, if you guys want to see it, I definitely could do that. Maybe it would be an interesting one this week after the free hit. And I think earlier in the season I used to do some of those videos. The reason I didn't is because for me it's really hard to get so many videos out every week, and I normally do I'll do a buy sell hold, which I haven't been doing recently, obviously because of all the chips being used. So maybe that comes back this week, and then I'll normally talk about tactics midweek, like tactical approaches for teams and who I would go for based off that. I normally just have the time for a couple of videos every week. So if I do 3 if I'm not busy at work, but recently I've been getting absolutely slammed, and I imagine next week I'm going to be getting killed again. So probably 2 videos next week, I'm guessing. So maybe I will do one tomorrow. I won't put it out tomorrow because I've got hanging out with some friends. And then Monday, I'll probably put out after work. Hopefully I'm not working too late. I'll chuck something out for you guys. Munish, hey Ozzy, always look forward to your streams. What's your thoughts on Welbeck rather than Evan Nilsson? I do like Welbeck this week. I think Welbeck, nothing changes for me for Welbeck. He's going to play the same position. You just not got João Pedro in behind him. Misses Ruta as well, who's still injured. So it does definitely make Brighton's attack a little bit weaker. That obviously does negatively affect Welbeck a little bit. But he is obviously the plus side is he's going to be on pens. So yeah, there's obviously always that potential. Again, alongside that, West Ham, terrible in transition football. Terrible defensively in transit. Even under Potter, they still suck. And if you heard Fulkrug, and if you watch all my tactics videos early in the season, I just spoke about how bad they were in transition. Then Potter came in. I thought they might get a little bit better with the formation changes, and then they've just gone back to being rubbish again. And it was funny. Fulkrug's post-game interview, he was just slamming West Ham for getting back in transition. They couldn't defend. Pretty funny. You should go watch it if you haven't. So yeah, I do think in transition, Brighton might be quite dangerous. I would say Mitoma I probably like a little bit better than Welbeck. But I think Welbeck's a fine pick on pens as well. And Max, thoughts on Mbeumo and Wood? I like both of them. Mbeumo obviously on penalties, Wood also on penalties. I think against Brentford as well, Forest's counter-attack are going to be important because Brentford are a transition-based team as well. They commit a lot of players forwards. And Forest obviously counter-attack with unbelievable pace their way. They spring it out to their wide men. I do actually think, though, Thomas Frank is going to make it quite tough for Forest. He is very good tactically as a manager. Very good. How's the football coverage over there in Oz? Do you get to see many games? It's actually wicked. We have Optus Sport. They show every single game. I can watch any game I want on Optus Sport. Mainly thanks to my mate who pays for Optus Sport, and I just steal his... I steal his user. So shout out Nick. He's normally on stream. I don't know where he is today. Yeah, he's always got my back. Looking forward to FPL ending in the summer break. I am looking forward to having not having to do a 4 a.m. deadline streams. That would be nice. I think there's one more left this season. Hopefully they don't have any more random fixtures slotted in. But yeah, I'm looking forward to not only 4A streams, but I'm still going to put out some content for you guys, I think. Interesting to see, like, if you have any thoughts on, like, what you would watch in the off-season. Like, would you be interested in, like, transfer videos and potential team lineups for the next season? I was thinking of, like, doing some stuff once, like, transfers are confirmed, or, like, maybe some transfer news and stuff for the main teams. So if you would be interested in watching some of that stuff, I was thinking about putting stuff out like that. I'm also going to be out in Cyprus and Croatia playing cricket for Cyprus national team. Got my jersey on today. Don't know if anyone can see it. Cyprus Cricket Foundation. So yeah, I'm going to be out probably start of August doing some of that before the season starts. So maybe I'll do some, like, what's it called? Vlogging. Oh my God. Someone's going to be laughing at me for that. So yeah, summer break. I'll still get out some videos, hopefully, for you guys. Happy to have some chats. Diaz is explosive. Yeah, agree. Diaz is explosive. 2 goals last time against Tottenham as well. Is a 70-point lead enough at this point to likely win a mini league? My guess is yes. 70 points is probably enough. Tough to catch up in 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 5 weeks, 5 game weeks. Unless, like, they've got a bunch of chips available that you don't, I would say yes. Jay may go for a 2 up front, as I'm not sure who will defo start. Drop Mbeumo in and take out the Wolves forward. Jay, did you have the double? Sorry, I forgot your team. I'm dumb. Larson, Isak and Raul are all going to start for sure. Raul, there's no option. No other option. Muniz is out. Isak's going to start. Larson starts every game anyway. So I don't think you should worry about your strike force. But yeah, I mean, you could definitely bring Mbeumo in and sack Strand Larson. I think that's a nice pick as well. He's on pens. Johan Wickland, no worries about Cunha not starting with Bellegarde now fit and Pereira having said he wants to play the same team, racked up all those wins whilst Cunha was banned. Maybe Strand Larson more safe. Cunha played 90 minutes last week, Johan. He played 90 minutes last week. I know Pereira said that, but that was a couple of weeks ago before then Cunha started. Look, there's a chance Cunha doesn't play just because he's off to Man United at the end of the season. But realistically, like, my bench is Murphy first on the bench, so just make sure number 1 on the bench is someone that you're willing to play. Cunha, if he doesn't start, he doesn't play. He's going to be taken out of the side because he's leaving the club rather than benched for some other reason. If he doesn't start, he doesn't play. Barry Devine, what do? I work in finance for a bank, in, like, forecasting, planning, that sort of stuff. Don't know how much information I should give away. Maybe that's what I should give away. Yeah, out in Australia. Jonesy, I say 100-point lead would be comfortable. 70-point lead would be cutting it fine. I mean, to be honest, if I had 70 points and I was 70 points in front, I'd back myself to not lose that lead. I'd probably play it pretty safe. Not too many differentials. Captaincy shouts. Safe captaincy shouts. You should probably win with a 70-point lead if they don't have chips. May go for 2 up front. Jonesy, with Manchester City, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Palace blanking 34, how should managers plan for their reintegration in subsequent game weeks? Well, a wonderful question. Sounds like it was worded by ChatGPT, mate. Could you do a team of the year video? Yeah, I'll definitely do that. That's a great idea, and I'm going to write that down because I like that. Definitely would do that, mate. Try and put their FIFA cards on there. What is that name? Hi, mate. Currently on 139k. Free hit this week and let's hope for top 100k. Yes, mate. You're definitely on for a top 100k. I can't read the Chinese. You know what? Give me your name in pinions, man. I can do pinions. Can't read the characters. How should managers plan for their reintegration in subsequent game weeks? Well, I guess if you're free hitting in 34, then obviously everybody comes straight back into your team in 35. What I would say is if you got a bunch of Crystal Palace players, I'd be looking to get them out of the team because their fixtures are not fantastic. Man City, great fixtures. You want the 3 City players. They're pretty great. I'd definitely look to keep them the rest of the The fixtures, Villa, pretty nice fixtures. Don't hate. Arsenal, if you have those players. If you have the defenders, I'd hang on to them for 38 against Southampton. I think 35 against Bournemouth probably okay. And if you have Arsenal attackers, I'd probably get rid of them. I'm probably going to sell Saka. Maybe in 35, maybe in 36. He probably goes to Mbumo. I don't really need him. Arsenal have tough fixtures. They're going to be in the Champions League. They're going to maybe rotate a little bit. Not worth having him. Vlogging would be cool, especially on diet and exercise and recovery. That's a good idea, Jonesy. I know you asked me for some stuff on that. Maybe not diet. You probably don't want to see my diet. It's not too bad. It's actually got a lot better, to be honest, since I've been playing professional, for sure. Edwin, you've probably covered this already. How likely are Sarr and Sessegnon to start? Making my draft now. Sarr definitely going to start. He has been past fit for this week for Wolves. Sessegnon, discussion is Wilson's obviously back fit. He's going to come on at some point, if not start. Wilson, that is. So I think he did mention Sessegnon's been playing really well lately. I think it's probably, for me, Sessegnon's maybe like a 65-70% going to start. But I'd probably be, maybe 60. But I'd say 65. I'm confident enough that he goes in that starting lineup. I think he's worth the risk because the upside of having a right winger as a defender that also, if he plays, comes off after 60 or 70 minutes, so that doesn't lose that clean sheet late on to a late goal, is really good. Strand Larson worth of Dusty. Hello, my friend. Yes, what's up? One of the great blokes who super chatted me last week. Appreciate you. Is Strand Larson worth a punt over Cunha? Not for me, mate. Not for me. I prefer Cunha. As I've mentioned before, he's involved in a lot of the build-up play. There's a big chance that he gets assists as well as the goals, whereas Stan Lance is more just goals. Also, when Cunha scores, he tends to get the bonus points because he's involved in a lot of the bonus play, the build-up play. So say Wolves score 3 goals, Strand Larson, Cunha, 8 Nuri. Maybe not 8 Nuri, it's not a good example, but Bellegarde or something, whatever. It's likely that Cunha gets the 3 bonus points because he's been involved in so much of the play. So he ends up on 9. So that's sort of my reasoning for Cunha. But yeah, if you he is a punt option, but I just prefer Cunha. Any new news about Shah? No new news as of today, post press conferences, Baruta. But yeah, I mean, just the latest that they're hoping he'll be available for this week. He's been dominating for you in late weeks, mate. Every time I see Shah score, I think of you, mate. You're probably there sitting on your sofa, absolutely celebs. Also, how's your knee going? It was knee, wasn't it? How's your knee going, mate? Have you fully recovered now? Jonesy said final team on Twitter when you get a chance. Is Omar Mamouche a hype merchant? Yeah, he's a hype merchant, mate. Well, there is obviously a chance of Haaland coming back. Jonesy, your final team. Pope, Sessegnon, Trent, 8 Nuri, Diaz, Murphy, Salah, Palmer, Wissa, Cunha, Isak. For me, I like that team. I'm a fan of it. I would probably go Cucurella over Trent because, as I've said a few times on this today, I don't think Trent's going to start. I think there's like a 15% chance of Trent starting. I think he's a bad pick, and I'll stand by that. And if I'm wrong, you guys can all slate me. I don't think his upside's that great either because he's not going to play 90 minutes. So I definitely prefer Cucurella. And then rest of the team I like, other than Palmer, who, I've spoken about Palmer a few times. Potential for Hull, yes, but in bad form. Chelsea not in particularly great form. Everton, great defence, 4th least goals conceded in the league. The trade-off being Tarkowski's injury for Everton did make them look quite vulnerable against City last week. The concern is for Moyes whether he plays Michael Keane again at centre-back, who looked a bit shaky, or moves O'Brien into centre-back from full-back, and then maybe like a Seamus Coleman or someone at full-back. Neil's, well, big cool on Trent. Look, honestly, I really don't think Trent starts. I don't see why he would start. He was only fit for 20 minutes last week off the bench. He ended up playing 27 just because of added time. I don't see why this week he should suddenly be fit and available to play and start when Bradley's been starting and playing well. Why would Trent not just come on off the bench if he's not fit to play the 90 minutes? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't see Slot starting Trent. And what I would say is I see as Liverpool... look, I could be wrong on this, but I don't think I am. And if I am, fine, you can give me shit about it. What I would say is I think that the way that Liverpool want to finish that game is with Trent on the pitch, because if we do win the league at home, you want him on the pitch. If he starts, he's not going to be on the pitch. I think they'll want him to be playing that last 20 or 30 minutes into the cop and then be able to celebrate after. Obviously, he'd come on off the bench to celebrate, but it's not the same. Trent, in one of my differentials, I'm hoping this is part of celebration start. Niels, yeah. Look, as I've said, I think if you do think differently to me and you've got some sort of thought behind why you think he's going to play, then sure, go for it. But I just don't think he's even that good a differential. I think Tottenham's not that great a fixture for Liverpool defensively. Tottenham can score, even in rotation, they have players that can score. They have players that can score, and I prefer all of my other three defenders to keep clean sheets. And I think they're all equally, if not more, attacking than Trent. I would say Sessegnon will be, Cucurella will be, given that Malo Gusto's out and Cucurella will be inverting, and Aït-Nouri has maybe the similar. Oh, Dusty, what a guy. What a guy, Dusty. Skip the queue, super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. 1362989. Any tips? -8 to field a team. Let's get your team up, mate. What a legend. Yeah, super chat, skip the queue, straight in. 1362989. Dusty, you're actually my hero, mate. You are actually my hero. -8 to field a team. Wait, I've typed this in wrong. 1362989. Is that right? Yeah. Jerry Dwyer. That's right. 163k in the world. Tough week last week. You TC'd Saka, sorry. Damn. Yeah, that's tough. I'm an Arsenal fan, so we'll take your lead and start with Cucurella. Legend Niels. Dusty, anything -8 to field a team. All right, so who are you missing here? You got Raya, Guardiola, Savinho, Saka, Marmouche, Mateta, Munoz. 7 out. Is that 7 out? So you've got 7 playing players? No, 7 out, but one's Raya, so it doesn't really count. So yeah, you got 8. You got 8 playing. So you need -8 to field a team. Right, okay. So your team at the moment is Kepa, Connor, Bradley. So you'll be loving my chat about how I think Bradley starts. Cucurella, lovely. Livramento. So back 3, really nice. And then midfield, you got Bowen, Murphy, no one else. And then up top, Isak. So, I mean, at the moment, team is nice. Is that right? Am I missing someone here? Bowen, Murphy, Saka. Is that right? Arsenal missing out. That's what I'm talking about. Bowen, Murphy. I feel like there's one more person that I'm missing in your team. Bowen and Murphy. It's just Bowen and Murphy. Yeah, okay. So 3, 2, 1. So okay. Salah, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, okay. That's what? I'm missing a player. Yeah, so Salah, Bowen, Murphy. That's lovely. So what? One or two more midfielders and one up top. I think Saka's got to go here because I think long term, I actually just don't think he's that nice a pick with Arsenal's fixtures. So if you look at Arsenal's upcoming fixtures, we've got Bournemouth in 35, which is okay. Then Liverpool away, Newcastle, and then Southampton in 38. So I think there's a chance that with the fixtures, like with Arsenal Champions League fixtures, that Bournemouth game becomes a little bit tricky for Salah in 35. It will be sandwiched in between the two PSG legs. I don't think he starts. I think Arsenal try and rotate for that. They got to try and rest maybe Saka a little bit, especially if the first leg against PSG is close. I'd probably say you're probably not feeling that comfortable with Savinho these days either. So maybe he's someone that comes out of that side. And then I like Marmoush going forwards, but I don't love Palace's fixtures. Forest, Tottenham, Wolves, Liverpool. I think they're okay, but not amazing. So I think your choices are maybe a Mateta or a Munoz to move as the other player to move. So I think Saka, Savinho, and then a Mateta or Munoz, depending on who you like the best for Palace. I like Mateta, but I don't know whether you'd prefer another striker over that run of fixtures. So if I'm looking at attacking fixtures going forwards, I would say the best ones are Brentford, City, United, and Spurs. Obviously, United and Spurs, the issues they're going to be rotating, so not as nice. So I guess there you probably look to bring maybe an Mbumo in this week. So maybe you move Saka to an Mbumo. It's probably a nice, easy transfer to make. And then Savinho. Savinho is an interesting one. I guess you got to pick between like a bit of a twofold between a good game week this week and good fixtures going forwards. I think you can go. You could go into. You could go into Newcastle. You could go. I just think no. You've got a triple Newcastle already in your side. You could go Nottingham Forest, actually. Nottingham Forest is quite nice. The problem for me with Nottingham Forest is I'm just not sure if Elanga's is fit to start. Otherwise, I would definitely be going with Elanga. What's his name? Oh, my God. Nuno Espirito Sanchez is very... he doesn't give away a lot of information in those presses as to who's fit and who's not. Obviously, Elanga's sort of been coming off the bench in the last few weeks, in the last couple of weeks. He hasn't been fully fit and able to start and play the full 90. So he's played 45, 31, 45 in the last 3 games. But I think for me, if he was fit and ready to go, I'd probably go with him. Your other option, maybe you go to a Gibbs White in that side. Not sure how much you'll love that pick, but that is one potential option. And then outside of that, I'd probably say Jared Bowen is. Oh, you've got Bowen already. Maybe Carry. No, Mitoma has reasonable fixtures. West Ham, Newcastle, then Wolves, Liverpool, Tottenham to finish. Not too bad. Fulham have good fixtures, but I just don't love their midfield. I'd probably go for an Iwobi if it had to be someone there. But they have Southampton, Villa, Everton, Brentford, City. I wouldn't take the risk on any of that Liverpool midfield, really, particularly. Yeah, so for me, it's probably a Mitoma. I would go Mbumo, Mitoma for long term, and then one of Mateta and Munoz. I would like to go Cunha, but I think Wolves' fixture is really nice. But it's a difficult one for this game week, given that there is this drama about whether he's going to continue to go, continue to play for them. Michael Baruta, time to relax before FPL. Pain knocked to the door. Good luck this game week, mate. Good luck. I hope your knee's doing better. So then I think between Mateta and Munoz, you got to have a think about who you want to go for. And then I think that leads me to defensively, who would you like? Again, you've got like Brentford defensively have some nice fixtures. Nottingham Forest defensively have some nice fixtures. So maybe you go Munoz to a Nottingham Forest or a Brentford defence. But I mean, not the greatest of fixtures this week. Whereas you do have bench in future weeks. So do you want to focus on someone that maybe has a nice fixture this week as a defender and play like maybe an Anthony Robinson in there for Fulham? And then, they got Villa, Everton, Brentford, Man City, which is not terrible, but not amazing. But he's got a nice fixture this week. He could get you a clean sheet, could get you some attacking returns. Definitely going to start all of the rest of Fulham's games. And then you just leave that sort of Cunha move to potentially next week. Maybe not next week against City, but you leave that on. I think that's probably where I'd go, Dusty. What are your thoughts there? Probably be, Mbumo, Mitoma, and you go Strand Larson. You could go Strand Larson for sure. Yeah. That's probably. I think that's probably what I'd look at. Either you go Strand Larson or you go for like a Robinson and look for that clean sheet this week. Because what do you think is more likely, the Strand Larson goal or the Robinson clean sheet? I think that's probably where you're looking. Whatever you think is more likely, that's what I think you should go for. Luca, what's up, mate? Good to see you back in there. Right, let me get through the rest of those questions. Dusty, just keep shouting out if you got more, mate. Happy to come back to you. Melon Musk, would you triple up on Newcastle defence and go no Isak stacking? No, I wouldn't do that. I don't love the Newcastle for a clean sheet, to be honest. I think Ipswich can still score, especially if Delat plays. Meme Lands, I'd come to that point in a sec. IBK Max, why are you so bullish on Bournemouth attack, benching Murphy? I just think Man United are going to rotate their team quite a lot. And I think it's nice sort of differential picks, Kluivert and Evan Nilsson. Evan Nilsson's been in great form. Kluivert's probably on penalties over him. I'm not so bullish on Kluivert. But I didn't want to go triple Newcastle attack. Thought it was a bit too much. But if it happens and Cunha doesn't play, then it will happen. Why is everyone on Raul Jimenez? He hasn't scored for weeks. Yeah, it's just because Munoz is injured, playing against Southampton. But yeah, I haven't gone for Jimenez. I didn't think he was the best pick either. Niels, I'm an Arsenal fan, so we'll take your lead and start with Cucurella. Nice one, mate. Dusty Tones, Salah. Sorry, that was the one I missed. Edwin, Sar, Nuri, Sessegnon, Trippier, Salah, Diaz, Mbeumo, Barnes, Isak, Welbeck, Cunha, Kepa, Kluivert, Cucurella, TAA. Any changes to the team or starting 11? I'd personally start Cucurella over Trippier. But I think Trippier's good as well. No, probably not, mate. I think I like that. I think it's good, Edwin. I know what you're looking to do as well. You want some spicy picks. Welbeck's a nice one. And Mbeumo's a nice one. Barnes, I think it's a good team. Good luck, Michael Baruta. Appreciate you. What's up, Luca? Welcome back to the chat as usual. Boss R Hill, would Cunha captain be a good option? I don't mind Cunha as a captaincy option because he has the potential for assists as well as goals. Dusty, would you consider Luis Diaz and put off Mbeumo move for another week? For a 1 week punt on Diaz? Or you're thinking, I think there's a risk that Diaz doesn't start, mate. It's not a big risk, but there is a risk. And Liverpool fixtures is not amazing. Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Palace. Do they win the league? Yeah, I mean, I don't like Diaz as a pick if you're not on a free hit, really. Don't really like it. I think it causes you problems down the line. I think Mbumo's such a great pick for future weeks, and you've got that transfer that you can use on something else, like maybe Mateta to Chris Wood in 35, or when Forest go Palace, Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea, like all great games. I think it just gives you that transfer to use later down the line if you know you're going to move for Mbumo. I wish I had the spare one that I could use. So I might have to take a -4 next week. Oh, actually, I'll probably go Saka to Mbumo next week. Meme Lands, what do you think about Cunha game time and whether him or Raul? I prefer Cunha to Raul Jimenez for sure. People have said a lot about Cunha I think the only way I see Cunha not playing is if he's agreed terms with Man United, and then they're like, well, there's no point us playing you because Wolves are not really playing for anything in the league. They're trying to get on a run. They're trying to build team chemistry, and they've been playing really well over the last sort of 5-6 games, right? Cunha obviously came back into the starting lineup. So I think Cunha either plays and starts or does not play. I don't think he's someone who's going to be benched because he might be leaving and then come on off the bench. Like, why would you do that? He just plays, mate. He just plays or he doesn't play. So whoever's first on your bench is important, meme lads. Bernie 91. My defence is currently Trippier, 8, Nuri, Sessegnon. Best goalkeepers outside of those teams. Alternatively, do I go Cucurella and Pope? I prefer Cucurella and Pope. But best goalkeepers out of those teams, I would say Leno or Kepa. For me. I'll chuck my team back up on screen, and Dusty, of course, we can flick back to your team if required. Ange, can you please see and review my free hit team? Jonesy, I covered your last free hit team, didn't I, mate? Yeah, Ange, can you... sorry, Ange. Luca. Yeah, DM me the photo. Just where are you DMing me? Insta or Twitter? Jay Ryder follows me on Twitter. What's up, bro? Just saw that. Who are the goats that reposted my... Mr. T Pocket Ace 247, my guy. Where are you? You're not on stream, are you? Chris, hello. Yeah, DM me, Luca. And I'll put it on stream. Music Kiwi. I'm going to Gordon for my Newcastle midfield spot. I don't care about FPL at this point. Okay. Sounds like you've had some trauma this season, mate. And I'm here for you because, like, you're always going to have trauma in some of these FPL seasons. Sometimes it happens. But stick with me next season and we'll make sure you get a good rank. What can I guarantee? I don't know what your rank is now. Tell me what your rank is now and I'll tell you what I'll guarantee you for next year. I wouldn't go for Gordon though. I don't think he starts. It's my honest opinion. I don't think you need to go too crazy on free hit. Chris, hey Ozzy, how many minutes do you think Murphy and Barnes get each? Tempted by Burns upside over Murphy, but he seems less likely to start. Yeah, I think this is a discussion we were having earlier, Chris. Ultimately, there's obviously a percentage chance that Barnes doesn't start. And if I allocated random percentages to this, I could give you like a fake expected minutes that I would create myself. Maybe I will do that just for fun. But ultimately, like what I think is Barnes is probably like 75% going to start. If he starts, he probably like 85% plays 90 minutes. Murphy's like 100% going to start, but he's probably also like 60% going to play 60, 70 minutes. So I think if you're captaining someone, I feel like it's too risky to captain Barnes. But if you're going to select someone for the starting team, I think you can go Barnes over Murphy. Like I went Barnes. Just for that 90 minutes. Edvin, I can see Cunha being benched to bring him on if needed, in case they need a goal late on. Nah, man. Nah. Why would you do that? Why don't you just play him? If you're going to bring him on, why don't you just play him? He's your best player. You don't bench him because he's not good, right? You're benching him for a reason. They played him 90 minutes in the last game. Edwin saying you don't care about FPL anymore. Watching your deadline stream is crazy work. So I did laugh a little bit, but it's all right, man. Like Music Kiwi, it's okay, mate. We all have these painful moments. Yeah, I did laugh. But it's all right, mate. You just follow my stream, you'll be all right. Like my video, and you'll get a green arrow next week. It does seem to happen. Pretty much. I mean, we're not showing like anybody at the moment, but I'm pretty sure like the last 2 weeks I've done deadline streams and I've been able to see red or green arrows. I think like we had like 23 out of 25 teams green arrows, and like maybe like 16 out of 17 teams green arrows the other week. So yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel, you get a green arrow. If you don't, you can unsubscribe next week. Don't unsubscribe. Follow me. What are we missing? Teach me to... It's Attitude. Oh, it's Attitude. What's up, bro? How are you, Quex? Good to see you, mate. Boss Ahill, trying to change 45 points in a mini league. Would Isaac be a good captain to chase these points? What do you think your compatriot will do? Do you think he'll go Salah? Because, yeah, I think Isaac's good. I think Murphy would be good. I think, like, non-Salah would be good. I think, like... Yeah, I think if he's leading and you're second, he probably captains Salah. So I think Isaac's a good captaincy choice, yeah. How about Kluivert to Iwobi? It's actually... No, I think Kluivert's good, bro. I'd have Kluivert over Iwobi. Look at my starting 11. I got Kluivert. I wouldn't substitute him for Iwobi. I'm on the free hit this week, so... I mean, are you on free hit? If you're on free hit, I don't mind that change. Like, that's fine. Iwobi's all right if you support it, but I wouldn't make a transfer for it if you're not on free hit. Dusty, all good, thanks. Considering Saka, Savinho, Mateta to Mbumo, Matoma, and Larson or Cunha, flip a coin. Shall I flip the coin? Oh my god, where's my wallet? Could do with a coin. I'll find a coin in a minute. Someone will magically... Oh, I've got one. All right. 50-cent coin. Heads Cunha. Tails Larson. You'll know when it's in the air what one you want to pick. It's tails. That's Strand Larson. That is Strand Larson, mate. But I tell you, when that coin was in the air, you wanted it to land on something. And so whatever it was, don't worry about the result of the coin flip. Whatever you wanted it to land on, that's who you should pick. That always happens to me. I flip the coin and I'm like, I hope it lands on tails. Then I'm like, oh, that's actually what I wanted. Good coin flips. Teach me tips. You don't see United getting one past Bournemouth. I'm currently on Jose Sarr over Kepa. Yeah, I'm tempted with Jose Sarr over Kepa. Teach me tips, mate. I think you might be right. I've got to be honest. If I was you, I wouldn't back me. I'd back yourself. Yeah, I do. I just think United are going to rotate quite a lot. That's sort of why I went Kepa. I also think it was quite nice having 4 different defenders. I have 4 chances at a clean sheet. Larson it is, Dusty, my guy. Yeah, all good, Luca. Just DM me. Just tell me when you DM me and I'll check. Sorry, one sec. Just telling someone that keeps DMing me on Twitter, just come on my live stream. I can't read everything. Yeah, so I just thought United with the rotation, like maybe there's a chance for a clean sheet for Bournemouth. Bournemouth have defensively been quite good over the last few weeks. United have not been great going forwards. If they do rotate heavily, there's a chance. Jose Sarr or Pope? I prefer Jose Sarr. I think Ipswich can score. I know Ipswich heavily rotated, but lots of injuries defensively. A couple offensively, but lots defensively. So yeah, teach me tips. I'd stick with Jose Sarr, mate, if I were you. Why do you go Kepa over Leno? Honestly, like I would say it's Kepa and Sarr, maybe Sarr, Kepa, and then Leno as third choice for me. I just don't think Fulham have been great defensively lately. I think Southampton have been improving as a team. I know they're still not fantastic going forwards. But yeah, that was just what I went for. I wanted to be a little bit different. I feel like everyone was going for Leno as well. I think there's a lot of good keeper options. I'm you're 1 point ahead of me in Second Chance League. All right, let's. What team is you? I think you should bring in Saka this week. Saka, Mateta, Marmoush, Savinho, Guardiola, all of those guys look great options for this week. I think they'll get you a lot of points, mate. If anyone that's not Edwin was listening to that, don't follow that advice. Damn it, you're beating me up. Yeah, Second Chance League. I'm coming though. I'm a late season game. Boss Arhill. Yeah, he's going with Salah. Then yeah, Isak's good, mate. Why have I captained Salah over Isak, Chris? I prefer midfielders to forwards, to be honest, because of the extra point for a goal, 1 point for the clean sheet potential. Long sort of what they don't tell you about FPL tips is a toss of a coin. That's how I pick my game week every week, Dusty. I just go Sarr or Kepa. Heads Sarr. Oh, I landed on tails. There you go. Kepa's staying. I kind of wanted it to land. Let's test it one more time. Heads Sarr. Come on, heads. There we go. Sarr's in. I'm going to change that later. That's 1-1 though, right? We'll do a third coin flip a little bit later to see who I choose. Sarr or Pope Message? I'd probably go Sarr. I think Ipswich can score. Brycey, what's up, bro? Would you play Sessegnon over Trent this week? Absolutely, 199 million %. I don't think Trent will start, and I think Sessegnon will start. If you want a 1-pointer, you go for Trent. I was answering a question and I just forgot what I was saying. Why is Salah over Isak? Yeah. Yeah, I prefer the midfielders, as mentioned, because of the extra points. I just think, like, you know what Ange's setup's going to be against Liverpool. You know what Liverpool's setup and how they're going to play against Spurs. Therefore, I just expect it to be a high-scoring game. I'd be really surprised if it wasn't. And then, like, transition. Like, Liverpool are going to be great counter-attacking because Spurs are going to be going forwards. That's where Salah's probably at his most dangerous. And yeah, other than the first leg in the Carabao Cup for Liverpool, they've scored tons of goals against Spurs. They won 6-3 and 4-0. So yeah, I'm sort of back in Liverpool, and they had a bit of a rotated team against Spurs in that first leg. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for Salah, and I just think Salah can go so nuclear. Like, he got 21 points last game week against Spurs, 2 goals, 2 assists. Like, he just has that ability to go so nuclear. So yeah, that's why for me. Don't mind Isak though, mate. Don't mind him. Probably prefer Murphy. Brycey, team ID. You're not on free hit this week, mate. 1265996. I think I almost know that off by heart now, mate. You know on free hit this week, Bryce? You are on free hit. Yeah, mate. I can't see the team. I can't see the your free hit team on screen. But can you just DM me it on Twitter or Instagram, and then I'll talk to you about it. Or just if you write it in the chat, that's actually way easier for me. Just write the team in the chat. Message day Mitoma or Bowen? My pick's probably Mitoma this week. I think West Ham, as I've been saying in transition, I don't like them. I think Mitoma might be really nice in transition. I think they're going to try and play fast in transition because they don't have Ruta or João Pedro either. Blitz Overwatch. I'm 50 points behind my ML, my mini league leader. He is not on free hit and a little screwed. I know he has VVD Murphy. Do you think it's smart to cover those picks, or is it here I need to go differential? What's your team ID, Blitz? Why don't we pull up his team on screen and we'll just have a look? And I do think there are picks that I would cover. I think Murphy's one that I would definitely cover. I think VVD you can go differential from. But why don't we pull up his team, or at least like I'll look at his team on screen. If you give me your team ID, I can find your league and the guy, and we can talk through it. Edwin, but that's all props to you, because since I started watching your streams, I've had better results. Legend, Edwin. That's good. That's good. Look, mate, I'm happy for my subscribers to be beating me, to be honest. It means that I'm obviously helping a little bit. Obviously, if I was number 5 in the world, I would not be so happy. And I'd have to block you from my stream if that ever happened. I'd be like, mate, you know what it is. Just going to have to block you. And then you probably find a new YouTube account that still watch me. Actually, I think I'd have to stop streaming. I wonder what I'd do if I was like 2 in the world in FPL. I think I'd have to hide my team and I'd just give advice on the streams. That would be crazy. Hope that happens. Morgan Jones. Is starting both Trent and Sessegnon too risky? Currently ranked 9k, but would be very high upside potentially. I don't think Trent is a good pick. Even if he starts, I just don't think he's a good pick. Like Liverpool v Tottenham, like why are we saying he's a good pick? There is multiple times this season where I've told people that Trent is not a good pick. And so far this season, all 2 of those times, I've been right. So I'm going to tell you for the 3rd time this season, Trent is not a good pick this week. Do not pick him in your free hit side. And let's see how we go. Yeah, I don't think Trent starts, mate. Don't think Trent starts. I think Sessegnon starts. I think he's a good pick. I think he's worth the risk because he's playing in right wing role. And I think Fulham probably keep a clean sheet. Whereas Liverpool, I think, probably don't keep a clean sheet. And I think Trent probably doesn't start. So, not ideal. Either way, even if he starts, I don't think they keep a clean sheet. I don't think he's going to score either. I don't have a free hit, Cheetos, and I have 1 transfer. My defence is Mikalenko, Livramento, and Castagna. Should I buy a defender or get Cunha and bench in Mbumo or Bowen? I literally think you don't need to make a single transfer. I think Mikalenko v Chelsea is a nice... I think Livramento is not... I think Castagna is your... Because we got Tete's back now, isn't he? So, I think Castagna might need to... You might need to move, mate. Yeah, I think you move Castagna because Tete's back now, isn't he, for Fulham? So you got Tete and Robinson playing fullbacks. Castagna probably coming off the bench. So buy a defender. I think move Castagna for Cucurella. Cucurella. He likes to drink Estrella. Or what other options do you have? Yeah, I like Cucurella. I think I'd probably go Cucurella. Liverpool, Newcastle, a couple of tough fixtures after that. But otherwise, you could go to like maybe Brentford defense or who else has good fixtures coming? Yeah, Nottingham Forest do have fixtures coming up, but this week's not really ideal. So depends how much you back Nottingham Forest like in the future. Or you back that Chelsea, like Chelsea got 2 tough fixtures, 35-36. So you could go Nottingham Forest. FPL confused, he's back, baby, let's go! Sorry for the loudness. Yeah, you could go into Nottingham Forest for future game weeks, or you could go like Cucurella for a good game week, this game week. VVD or Cucurella for me, it's attitude. Why have Nilsson and Clive this week? I know United are poor. It's a rotation for me in the United team that I'm expecting this week because they play Athletic Bilbao midweek in the Europa League semi-final first leg. So, yeah, I think like that's on Friday. Is it Friday? Yeah, Friday they play Bilbao. So, and what is United game to Saturday? Is it? Sunday. Yeah, so they have 4 days off in between, but there will be some rotation. I think they play a reasonable team, but there definitely will be some rotation. Definitely will be some rotation. Do Spurs play... Is Luca here? Spurs play Thursday? Oh, they also play Friday. Sorry, Thursday night for England. And Thursday night, and Man United play also like Sunday morning, so they would have 3 days off in between. Sorry, Australia English times, I have to convert. So that's kind of why I went Evan Nilsson and Kluivert. But like, I'm not 100% convinced by Kluivert. But I don't know. I don't feel. Who else would I go in the midfield? Mbumo is probably where I'd go. But Forrest, decent. Kluivert. I'm not sold on Kluivert. I'm not. I could. I genuinely, that is the one pick I could change at this stage. But I'll only think about my team with half an hour to go to the deadline. To be honest, like, I'm thinking about it as we talk, because like we're going through and discussing things. Alternative captains this week: Dusty, Murphy, Isak, Cunha. Let me know if you need more discussion point on that. Blitz, yeah. All right. Oh, you have his team ID as well. Nice. Okay, I'll chuck his team ID. Sorry. 240 8386. Okay. Hugo Kirkybake. Which league? Yeah, all right. So he's just got bench boost left. So he's probably going to bench boost in 36. Blitz. And you're 61 points behind? Yeah, luckily the NBA playoffs are on, so I'll be watching that. Teach me tips. Big NBA fan. Yeah, Hugo's having a good season. Yeah, so I'd cover Isak, I'd cover Salah, I'd cover Murphy. Then I'd probably try and kill him everywhere else. He's going to captain. Well, he could captain Salah or Isak. Yeah, I don't think you need to cover anybody else. I'd definitely cover those three. Just makes sense, and then you just got to beat him elsewhere and on captaincy. Yeah, if you also pick VVD and Livramento, then what are you going to do? Like, yeah. How many has he got? Mateta, Marmoush, Rodgers, Eze, Rashford, Timber, Guardiola. 7. He has 7 starters. 1 free transfer to make it 8, and then he has to take a minus 12 to get 11 players. And he's also got Reece James, which isn't really a player. It's a 1-pointer every week. So he probably has to take minus 12. He might do that. So that gets you to 50 points behind. I'd probably rather take... I think if I were you, you could potentially cover the Livramento, but I wouldn't cover the VVD. Or choose Trippier over Livramento and go, like, cover the Newcastle clean sheet, but go for a different potential for attacking returns. Maybe I'd go there. I don't know. I'm not convinced that Newcastle keep a clean sheet against Ipswich, but they definitely could. So I definitely don't mind Trippier or Shah. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think I'd cover VVD. I think I'd back like Fulham or Wolves to keep a clean sheet and probably to get some attacking returns. Maybe even Chelsea. I'm not as hyped about Chelsea clean sheet. FPL confused. Trent, Sessegnon or Cucurella to start on free hit. It'd be Sessegnon and Cucurella. I'd probably Sessegnon 1, Cucurella 2. Bryce, thank you for advising me to buy QEO last week for 13 points because of me. Legend. Bryce, your free hit Kepa or Jose Sarr. Sessegnon 8, Nuria Trippier. It's Diaz, Salah, Palmer, Barnes, Evan Nilsson, Cunha, Isak. Mate, I've got no changes to that team, Bryce. I think that's solid. It's basically my team, same as mine, but with Sarr and Trippier over Kepa and Cucurella, which I think are really good picks. I think I'm pretty close to going Jose Sarr over Kepa. And Trippier is a good pick against Ipswich, where Davis is obviously out suspended for Ipswich at the left-back role. So they might try to exploit that by sending Trippier super high down that on whoever's playing left-back for Ipswich. Could be Greaves or could be the young lad Boniface gets his first Premier League start for Ipswich. So I think that's a real possibility for Ipswich that he does get that. If you didn't play Clivert, would you go double Newcastle or Mbumo? That's a great question, Manish. Can you advise me, mate? Because honestly, if someone could pick for me someone that I like better than Clivert, I'd probably pick them. Because the more I'm looking at him, I'm not convinced. I am quite convinced with Evan Nilsson. I think maybe double Bournemouth is potentially a mistake. But do like Evan Nilsson. Do like that a lot. If Evan Nilsson on pens, I probably wouldn't have Clivert. And he could be on pens. Maybe I'd just go Cole Palmer and just go rogue. Go against everything I've been talking about. Mitoma may as well, maybe. Maybe I'll go Mitoma. I like Mitoma. And Bimo, not bad. Blitz, I feel like I'd only lose this game week if I choose the wrong cap or Liverpool over VD as a goal. Yeah, I mean, that is the case most weeks. Thinking Pope too, but I think Newcastle has higher offensive threat than Everton, for example. Yeah, I think Newcastle's offense is much better to double their defense. Did I miss anybody's comments yet? No. Both flights on an FPL deadline. What is that planning? FPL confused. Come on, man. I actually had to plan my Cyprus flights when I flew out there to play cricket for them. I had to plan them around the FPL deadlines. I remember flying back to Australia. I think I arrived at 6 o'clock p.m. It was like a 9 p.m. Deadline. And I started streaming at 7 for 2 hours. I was driving back from the airport, like fucking wigging it around cars. Don't let the police catch me. They don't know what my number plate is, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But I made it, and I started streaming at like 7 o'clock, 6:55, 7 o'clock. I don't know if any of you were on that stream. It's pretty funny. I think a few of you were. Bernie 91. 6, morning, mate. What's up? Sorry. ASMR. I'm always eating on streams. You don't need to go and watch ASMR stuff. Just stay on my streams. You'd be great. It's because it's stupid times, man. I haven't eaten. Started streaming at 4 o'clock till I think it was 4 today. I started streaming 4 till 8. 4 hour stream. Crazy. I'm a crazy human. Current free hit: Bernie, Pope, 8, Nuri, Cucurella, Sessegnon, Salah, Diaz, and Mbumo, Barnes, Clivert, Cunha, Isak. Sounds good, mate. Wouldn't change anything. Except for Sanchez on the bench. Calamity Sanchez. No, I think it's a great free hit. No changes, in my opinion. Morning 6. Hope you're good, mate. Flick me your free hit if you want in chat. Brycey Cole Palmer redeemed himself this week. Quick 4 goals in first half. Don't say I didn't want. It does frighten me. It almost frightens me enough to pick Palmer. If he did it this week, I think I'd cry. I've just had him for so many weeks that he's failed me. I think I'd cry if he did it this week. Clivert to Palmer. Yeah. I'm thinking about it, mate. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to do it. Big Al, what's up, mate? Good to see ya. Leno, Sessegnon, Cucurella, Nuri and Bumo, Diaz, Salah, Barnes, Murphy, Cunha. He's that good team, mate. Wouldn't change it. Triple Newcastle, the only thing I'm thinking about in that team. Like, is that overkill? Is that overkill? Who's your first on your bench there? Because they might be important as well. Personally, for me, I think I want Bournemouth cover with Evan Nilsson, but Manish, I kind of want him Bumo. Double Newcastle doesn't convince me, but Matoma is a solid pick too. Manish, I like Matoma. I might go Matoma. Hard decisions between Barnes or Murphy. What's your thought? My thought is if Barnes plays, he plays 90 minutes. And he's a little bit more dynamic runner and finisher. So if I was to pick one of them, I'd pick Barnes, which is why I picked him. And I think he starts 65, 70%. I reckon he starts. And then for Murphy, I would say if I'm going to captain a Newcastle asset, it'd probably be Murphy because of the safety of him going to start. But he probably only plays 70 minutes and then gets subbed out. So for non-captaincy, I think I'd rather take the risk on Barnes. That's my thoughts, Jeremy. Big Al also got Barnes differential captain. I think Barnes is quite risky for captaincy. That's my only issue. Because he's got the starting, if he starts, issue. Did I miss somebody? No. Hatch. Add a start VVD, Burn or Robinson. Start Matoma or Clivert. I mean, I'm making that decision right now, mate. I think it's 50-50. I'm thinking about my own team. It might be Matoma. Don't be a N'Golo Kante. Monesti or Sharda. Sharda has to start. I don't know if he starts. Probably Monesti. Don't know if Sharda starts. I mean, he started the last 10 weeks, so maybe I should be quiet. Probably Monesti anyway, really. I mean, neither, but Monesti. On a stag in Bristol, team not done. Serious decisions this morning. Think I'll start Robinsons. Any thoughts on Whistler and Boomer? Brian, just write your team out in the chat right now. And then send me a beer. Just super chat me what the cost of a beer, mate. Surely you owe me one. Joking. Diaz captain? Question mark. Amis. Just the start for me is whether he starts or not. If he starts, he's a great captaincy shout. It's whether or not he starts. Big Al, my bench viewer wondering, sells Evan Nilsson, Trent, Kirkes. Sack Trent, put him in the bin right now. He ain't starting. If he does start, he's not going to do anything anyway, is he? Evan Nilsson. Oh, okay, yeah. Evan Nilsson first on bench. Big Al. I'd maybe have Evan Nilsson in there over Murphy. But, I mean, that's just making your team more my team. So, up to you, I think, mate. If you want to go for that triple Newcastle. I probably slightly prefer Evan Nilsson there. I'd have Kirkes further up the bench as well. Not sure about that bloke in the middle. Guys, remember, please like the channel, subscribe if you do enjoy my videos. If you are enjoying this, if I'm any way helpful, please like. We've had like over 600 people and I can only see like, I don't know, 30 likes or something. So give me a like, help me out, help the channel out. It makes a really big difference to my channel. If you can, just flick that like. If you want to subscribe, if you really, really are crazy, then become a member. It's about 75 cents a game week. Very cheap. But yeah, if you can like the channel, it really makes a huge difference to small channels like mine. So I would really appreciate that if you could help out. Is Iwobi a good midfielder pick compared to others? Yeah, he's all right. I just don't like his finishing, Iwobi, personally. I don't think he's a fantastic finisher. I know he did absolutely spank that one home last week. But generally, I'd say I'm not super enthused by his finishing. And yeah, I'd probably think twice maybe about having him in my side. But a good fixture against Southampton, so not completely against that. Not completely against that. Luca, are you in the chat, mate? I've got your Twitter message. Is Kepa, Nate Nuri, Trippier, Sessegnon, Salah, Barnes, Palmer, Diaz, Cunha, Isak, Evan Nilsson? Is Sarr available, Alex? Yes, Sarr is available. He has been past fit after his back injury last week. Will start for Wolves, so definitely a good pick. Not sold on Kluivert. Sell to Kudus and captain him. Oh my God. What a shout that could be. The GOAT, Mohamed Kudus. Bring him back for one last hurrah on free hit. One last hurrah. I don't think I had him all season, but anyway. Oh, Mohamed, could I bring you in? Could I do it? Just for the memes. I don't want to do that to my team, man. I care about my FPL team, you know. But I do enjoy the memes. I should do some fun stuff as well. But then people will give me chat about how my rank's rubbish. But 40k, mate. I'm doing good. Relax. Your two teams, Luca, I'm trying to see the difference between them. Kluivert v Barnes in one, and Evan Nilsson v Raul. And the back three you're pretty set on. Others I'm considering Jackson, Wood, Mitoma. Wood I like. Mitoma I like. Yeah, Mitoma instead of Kluivert, Luca, is what I'm considering at the moment, currently on the stream. I think it's an interesting shout. Yeah. And I probably like... I like Evan Nilsson, the Evan Nilsson team. Maybe Palmer to Mitoma. But if you want to go Palmer, that's fair. Abhishek, Karate, Raul, or Diaz. I mean, they are completely different players. Like, one is a striker, one is a midfielder. I mean, if I have those two in my team, I'm starting Diaz every day of the week. For sure. No doubt. All right. I think, given a little bit of a slowdown, I might pull up and think about my own team. I know that's crazy for you guys, you know. I actually have to think about my own team as well. Tell you what we'll do. I'll get rid of Rano because he's not even thinking about him. Jose Sarr, definitely in. Let's confirm that. He can sit on my bench for now. And then... yeah, Kluivert, man. What are we saying? What are we saying about Kluivert? I'm thinking about going Kluivert to Mitoma. What are we thinking about United starting 11? Any United fans on here that have an idea about what United starting 11 is going to be this week? Delo's obviously out. They're going to rotate a little bit. Do they start Bruno? Not sure. They played him 30 minutes against Wolves last week. Do they do the same thing again? Feels like they might. And up front, they got old mate Rasmus. Rasmus not going to score a goal. Garnacho's a bit of a ropey finisher as well. They don't really have anyone that can finish, except for Bruno. If they rest Bruno, they're never going to score a goal. I mean, that leads me to Kepa starting in goal. I think I'll stick with Kepa. But Clivert, I'm not so sure about. I think I might go Mitoma. Who starts in that attacking midfield role then for Brighton? Is it O'Reilly? Probably O'Reilly starts in that AM role. Are they as effective without João Pedro? And Mitoma is available. Oh, he looks like he's been fucking bossing it, doesn't he? I do like Mitoma. I've got to be honest. I do like Mitoma. See West Ham as well. West Ham suck in defence in transition. Suck in defence in transition. 1.78, 2.12. Look at this expected goals. It's not that high though. Not that high. I mean, obviously Southampton is low because they suck. But like Bournemouth. What about first half of the season? Brighton 0.94. West Ham sort of played similar style, I would say. Their lack of defensive transition is still the same. Sorry, going to get ASMR again. Whereas United just full on suck, bro. Like I don't know how to give it to you guys. They just suck. But sometimes they just come out and they just defend. Bournemouth beat them 3-0. But that was because of a red card, wasn't it? That changed the game. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go Mitoma. Let's do it. Let's go Mitoma. Opinions on my free hit, Sux. You sent it over. Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. Jose Sarr, 8 Nuri, Sessegnon, Livramento, Luis Diaz, Palmer, Barnes, Salah, Isak, Evan Nilsson, Cunha. Yeah, I guess if you're going to go Newcastle defender, I probably prefer Trippier over Livramento, just because he's playing down the right and Ipswich is left, and Ipswich's left is where Davis is suspended, so they're going to have Greaves or the young lad making his debut, Boniface. And then obviously Trippier's on set pieces as well. So I think just more opportunities for him to get points over Livramento. Palmer, I've sort of discussed throughout about what my thoughts are and why I don't particularly love him as a pick. Just bad form really for Chelsea at the moment. Palmer being out of form. Everton being a good defence, but obviously I countered that with like Everton do have are missing Tarkowski now, so that is a bit of a crucial loss for them defensively, as we saw when he went off injured against Man City. Man City sort of started to pick up a little bit after that, and Everton were a little bit more susceptible. Pardon me. So, yeah, definitely. I think I would consider Palmer, then Barnes, Salah, Diaz, Isak, Evan Nilsson, Cunha. I think the rest looks really nice. Don't really have any changes there, mate. I think it's pretty solid. No changes I'd make. Alex, opinions on Welbeck? Yeah, again, I think my thoughts are for Brighton, like how will he fare without João Pedro? Because João Pedro's been great in that 10 role. Like Welbeck's role is going to be the same. It's just going to be O'Reilly in behind with no Ruta either. It's just a little bit of a different makeup for Brighton. So I just wonder how well linked they're going to be. Don't be an N'Golo Kante, Montesi or Sancho. I'm just loving these rogue calls. Monetsi for me, mate. Sancho, tough game. Not that great a player. Well, not that great a player. Just not that great FPL asset. Yeah. Yeah, so Welbeck, I don't know, on penalties, so definitely a good option. But yeah, I just don't know how well he'll fare without João Pedro in terms of the link-up play in that big four. I sort of like Matoma a little bit more just for the transition offence. I think he might be nice in transition. If that makes sense, guys. Are they at home as well? Brighton, are they home against West Ham this week? Yeah, they're home. They are home. MMA Shorts. Morning, mate. What's happening? You're on free hit this week. In Tunisia. You're in Tunisia, FPL confused. Nice one. What are you doing there? I've never been to Tunisia. Let me check my team back up on the screen in the nice format. CR7, LM10, Pope and a Fulham defender, or Leno and double Livramento? And double Livramento. You can get 2 Livramentos in your starting team. That is impressive, mate. I haven't been able to do that on FPL yet. It'd probably be Pope and a Fulham defender. I prefer that than Livramento and Trippier. Been paragliding and jet skiing. Wow. How was that? That's epic. What the hell? Wow, you're so active. I've been for brunch and to my sofa. Sorry, ASMR. Warning. On free hit, but need a good game week. Was so epic. Still thinking about FPL in the air. Oh mate, that is funny. Yeah, I do occasionally have some randomly thoughts about FPL when I'm doing like weird stuff. Also, the annoying thing is obviously like my YouTube channel. Like I'm always getting comments from people on video. I mean, please, if you do watch this, please comment on my YouTube videos. Please like the videos, like as they come out in the week. Definitely the engagement like super helps the channel. I've really noticed that a lot of the videos that get more engagement, more comments, even if it's just to say nice video, etc., have really done a lot better. After FPL season ends, you'll change the mukbang, the English Aussie ASMR. I'm not sure anyone would want to watch me do a mukbang video. But I mean, outside of the season, you guys have got to give me some ideas. So now that's probably number 4 on my list because I've only got 3 ideas. So you better give me some other ideas, otherwise that's just a bit worrying. You might see me just munching through some like Carolina Reaper chilies and then sprinting out of the room to pour milk over my head. I mean, that'd be quite an amusing video. Yeah, watch my videos, like them, and comment in the weeks. It will help me greatly. So I do appreciate if the guys of you that I do see commenting frequently on my videos. Very helpful. Even though sometimes, yeah, like I was saying, I sit in a pub or like sometimes I went for brunch this morning. I'm just looking at my phone like tick, 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 comment. I'm like, gotta reply to all these. before I start streaming. Sometimes under the table, just quick text about FPL. Flying back to England soon. Not too long of a flight, so I'll download the stream on YouTube. Legend. What a guy. Yeah, streams, obviously, no stress, mate. Just if you turn up, it's always great to see you guys. Great to interact. The streams for me is just all about interacting with you guys. More people I have to interact with are great. Yeah, any more free hit teams? Anyone want to post their free hit teams in the chat? I'm chilling now. We got 50 minutes to deadline, is it? $50 minutes to deadline. Alex Cronin. Who should I -4 Rodgers for? Should I just play with 10? I'd probably -4 him. Probably -4 him. It's really a -2 because you get 2 start playing points for the midfielder. How much budget you got, Alex? Is it just Rodgers? Like you don't have any budget? For a friend, best striker if you're not free hitting. Tell your friend, log into my damn stream and message me himself. And while he's at it, he can like and subscribe. Best striker if you're not free hitting. If I'm not free hitting. Who do I have over the next few? I like Marmoush to have. Oh, Watkins X minus. Out for out. Watkins out. Oh, as in like that you need that also plays this week. Chris Wood probably. Chris Wood. If not free hitting. Good fixtures for Forest. Alex Cronin, 1.7 mil in the bank, and BZ, I'm coming to you, mate. I'm coming to you. Alex, 1.7 mil in the bank, and then 5.7 mil for Rodgers. So you got 7.4. So if we take a quick look, 7.4 midfielders. Diaz 7.6, bit too expensive. Bowen 7.6. Clivert. Clivert, Mitoma. Are you on free hit? No, you're not on free hit. Oh, and then going forwards as well. Oh, yeah. What's Bumo? What's in Bumo? He must be more expensive. He's not on this list. I like Brighton. Yeah, I like Brighton. Clivert. Bournemouth's alright. Brighton's alright. Gibbs White, Elanga. Yeah, I wish I knew if Elanga would start. If I knew that Elanga would start this week, it would definitely be Elanga for me. The fact that I don't is probably a Clivert or a Mbumo. And I'd probably go Mbumo. Oh, sorry, not Mbumo, because you can't afford him. It would definitely be Mbumo if you could afford him. But given that you can't, it's probably a Mitoma or a Clivert. That's what I'd say. BZ, Wood or Raul. Going for Wood on free hit would mean I downgrade to Van Dijk. Downgrade Van Dijk to a Fulham defender. Good. Get rid of Van Dijk. He's going to concede. Yeah, Wood. Wood for sure. Sorry, not Wood for sure. That is a very tight call between strikers. But I'd probably just go for Wood because I think his finishing is more clinical. And I would definitely downgrade Van Dijk. And it would probably be to Sessegnon or Robinson. Or Kukurea or Aït-Nouri. FPL confused. My free hit team is sorry. Aït-Nouri, Trippier, Sessegnon, Murphy, Palmer, Salah, and Luis Diaz. Raul, Isaac, and Cunha up front. Mate, you don't need to. I think you're good. Sar's going to start. So you're fine there. Aït-Nouri, Trippier, Robinson is nice. Oh, sorry. Aït-Nouri, Trippier, Sessegnon is nice. Murphy, obviously great. Palmer is my issue with your team. Like I would be against Palmer personally, and I'd go for someone else. But again, who else to pick? I don't have an answer for you. I've gone Mitoma. You could go Clivert. Yeah, I mean, realistically, you could probably go for like Brennan Johnson. He's probably like the outlier that no one's talking about. That just might play and score against Liverpool, and then has great fixtures going forwards. But anyway, free hit. Never mind. Yeah, that's another shout for you, Alex. this is a very rogue left field shout, is someone like Brennan Johnson. He's not going to start every week. Or a Maddison. He's not going to start. They're not going to start every week. But Spurs have got amazing fixtures. Rico St. Clair. Welcome back, mate. Welcome back. Palmer, just in case. Yeah, I understand. I understand, Palmer. I think I will. You might not see me for a few days as Palmer Halls this week because I've had him for so long, mate. I've had him for so long, and he's just let me down time after time after time. Nish, what's up, bro? Welcome back. Welcome back. You're pretty early, mate. It's 45 minutes to the deadline. You need to go away, have a shower, come back in 40 minutes or 50 minutes. What are you doing here? Have some dinner, come back after the deadline. Far too early for you, Nish. Give us your team, mate. Let us help you out for once. Rico St. Clair. Jose Sart, also welcome back, mate. Good to see you, Rico. Jose Sart, Nuri, Trippier, Robinson, Diaz, Salah, Bowen and Mbumo, Murphy, Isaac, Cunha need to catch first immediately, but 130 points and he doesn't have free hit. I'm probably feeling Sessegnon over Robinson, but I mean, either's nice. Robinson's safer for starts. I'm not going to lie, my water is heating up for the shower. I knew it. But good of you to give us a hi before you went off. But chuck your free hit team in chat if you want. And maybe when you come back from the shower, mate. Don't want to deny you that. Put some clothes on, Nish. Come on. This is a PG stream. It's actually definitely not a PG stream, but come on, mate. Get some clothes on. Jesus. Rico, I think otherwise team is pretty nice, mate. Bowen and Mbumo, Salah, Cap, Murphy, Isaac, Vice, Cunha. 130 points is a long way to go, mate. And I'd probably say he captained Salah. If he's 130 points ahead, he's going to play pretty safe. So I think your captaincy probably has to go to Isaac or Murphy if you want to stand a chance of catching him. Maybe even Cunha, but I'd probably go for Murphy or Isaac. But I think the team looks nice. Robinson, I'd maybe go to Sessegnon because he's playing right wing for Fulham. Probably starts. I guess you have to take a few risks as well. I think the captaincy's got to come off Salah, mate, unfortunately. Even though I've got mine on Salah. I think if you're trying to play catch-up and you need 130 points, you've got to go elsewhere. It's actually team ID 768584. Aren't you on free hit, mate? I can't see your team with if you're on free hit, by the way. Because they don't show you the transfers that you've made. So you have to type your team in. It's attitude. Sorry, bro. I can see your last week's team, but I know that you're on free hit because I'm looking at the team now and I know that there's no way you can have this team. So if you can just post just write the team out in the chat, be easy. Yeah, the eye test is good for Evan Nilsson. The data is good for Evan Nilsson. You're right. Alex Cronin, do you think I should transfer Saka out from Mbumo and keep Rodgers instead? Yes, I do. I'm transferring out Saka next week for Mbumo. So I think that's a much better pick. Rodgers is not too bad, Alex. So that's a great shout, mate. If you really want, you can give your team ID. We can pull your team up on the stream now. But yeah, I definitely think that was probably the move I would make without seeing the rest of your team. Amos, Evan Nilsson and Matoma or Welbeck and Cunha? What? Oh, Welbeck and Kluivert. Yeah, Evan Nilsson and Matoma, mate. Look at my team. That is exactly who I have. I just moved Kluivert for Matoma, actually. Time for some more ASMR. All right, sorry, I'm taking the piss a bit with that ASMR. I'll stop doing that. That was probably quite loud as well. Yeah, Alex, chuck us your team ID, mate, if you need. Quex, I'm on free hit. Leno, 8 Nuri, Sessegnon, Cuckoo, Barnes, Iwobi, Salah, and Bumo, Cunha, Welbeck, Isak. Yeah, I mean, the defence for me looks like an absolute lock. I wouldn't change any of them. The midfield, like, I can't tell you any of your picks are not good picks. I can just give you my thoughts. Barnes, I'm obviously starting in my team, but potential to not start. But I think the upside is worth it. Iwobi, I think, is a terrible finisher. I think Southampton have been improving, and I think Fulham don't score that many goals. Maybe that's not true. Fulham not scoring too many goals, but I just don't think Iwobi is a good finisher. I know he banged that epic goal last week, but outside of that, generally he just pumps them as hard as he can and hopes it goes on target. Salah and Bumo, both good picks, both penalty takers. I always like a penalty taker. Cunha, I like because he's involved in the build-up play as well as the goals. Welbeck and Isak. Welbeck, again, is going to be on pens. I don't know how well he's going to work with O'Reilly. I assume he's going to start attacking mid as Ruta and João Pedro are out. So the link-up play for Brighton, I don't know how good it's going to be. But I think Mitoma is definitely going to be deadly on the counter against West Ham. Not good in transition. And then, did I miss any thoughts on that, Quex? No, I think those are my thoughts. I think that's what I think for you, yeah. That's probably what I think for you, mate. Is it, Beezy, is it better to go for Trips or Livramento? So I reckon Trippier is a slightly better option. The reason being, especially on free hit, if I wasn't on free hit, maybe not the same. But on free hit, I think Trippier is a better option. He's on all set pieces. He's on corners. He's on some set pieces. He plays on the right as well. And Leif Davis for Ipswich is suspended at left back for Ipswich, and probably he's going to be replaced by Jacob Greaves or Boniface for his league debut. The young lad for Ipswich could start. So just means there's a little bit more penetration down that side. I think maybe Newcastle will target that a little bit. So yeah, maybe Trippier's a nice option there, linking up with Murphy. If I go Wood and Trippier, I would only be left with 3.9 million for my fourth defender. Yeah, send me your team, Beezy. Just chuck it in the chat, mate. Just type it out. Chuck it out. I can tell you your answer is probably to go Mbumo to Mitoma. I assume you have Mbumo in your team if you're struggling for poolside right now. Let's go, mate. That sounds great. Wait, aren't you just about to get on a flight, though? You're one of those relaxed flyers? Like, yeah, no worries, man. Yeah. How long to the flight? 50 minutes? Yeah, no worries. I still got 20 minutes to get to the airport. No worries. Yeah. Sick, bro. Sick. That's me. I'll do that. My mum shouts at me. Adam! She even messaged me from Australia. Yeah, no worries. She even messages me sometimes, like, when I'm in Australia, like, flying to England. She's like, have you checked in yet? Or like, are you through security yet? I'm like, and last time she messaged me saying like, have you got through security? I was literally eating dinner at home, and I was like, yeah, it's best that I just don't reply to this. Like, I think like for international flights, they take 3 hours. I normally still get there like an hour and a half before. And I got there, I remember going through security, and it was like 1 hour to my flight, and then I just messaged my mum back being like, yeah, through security. Beezy, team ID. I won't be able to see your free hit team, Beezy. You got to type it out in the chat. Because otherwise, like, if you can see the free hit teams, you'd obviously be able to see what everyone's done so far in the week. It'd be easy to win your mini leagues because you just check out other people's teams. So, for example, this is Quex, but I can't see his mini league. Just say no internet. No, that's all right. She knows. I just told her. I just said, look, Mum, I'm not going to lie. I was eating dinner at the time. She was laughing. She was like, that's classic you, but one day you're going to miss your flight. And I was like, not happened yet. Yeah, only time I almost missed my flight, I was in Germany, in Frankfurt, back in the days. Any team news, especially for Fulham? Yeah, man. I got some team news for you. Oh, sorry, my team news thing is not moving. My apologies. I had paused it to show people stuff. So, team news, if you ignore my terrible formatting on the screen, Wilson's available again. Sessegnon's available. Smith Rowe is possibly back. Muniz is injured, so Jimenez is going to get the full 90 minutes. And then the discussions were at the press conference: is Wilson going to play full 90 minutes, or like is he available? Is he fit enough for full 90 minutes, or just off the bench? And I think the comments from Marco Silva were that Sessegnon's playing really well at the moment. We'll have to see whether Wilson's available for the full game or for 90 minutes. It feels like to me it wouldn't make sense to not go Sessegnon. I feel like, as in like for Silva to pick Sessegnon to start, given his form and that Wilson's coming back from an injury, he probably just plays Sessegnon and brings Wilson on off the bench. Then maybe next week Sessegnon becomes a problem. T-Tac, I can't see a free hit team on this, so if you're on free hit, mate, you need to just type the team in the chat. Sorry to be a pain, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles these days. Oh, but it looks like you've used your free hit, so that's okay. So I'll go on to your team in a sec. Nick, my guy, what's up? I was talking about you earlier on stream again. It was a bit too early. I started the stream, I know. Would you take a punt on Jimenez instead of Sessegnon? No. I would say with relative, maybe not certainty, but confidence that Sessegnon will will equal or outscore Jimenez in the week. I'm choosing Mitoma over Palmer, Bryce. I am choosing Mitoma. Yeah, for now. Unless you can convince me in the next 33 minutes. Yeah. All right, Tom, 111k. Mate, weren't you like 20k or something? 80k. Mate, unlucky. That's right. We're going back for some green arrows now, Tom. All right, so what am I saying about your team? So, at the back, you got Robinson, 8, Nuri, and you need +1. You got 2 safe transfers. You're thinking Saka to Diaz, Mamouche to Welbeck. You think it's worth -4 to get any defender to play 11 instead of playing 10. I don't mind playing 10. Wildcard next week, thinking Liverpool quicker out. So, I'll go through all your questions here, T-Tac, mate, Tom. And then we'll go through the other teams. My bus is here in 10, so got to go by them. Late as FPL confused. Much love, bro. Catch you later. Safe flight, bro. Safe flight. And yeah, Niels, I answered your team news. Yeah, if you need any others, please let me know. I'll make the team news so it's actually moving, so you can. If you're on the stream, all the team news I've got will flick through. No being late. Yeah, get there now, mate. Get on with it. So 8 Nuri Robinson at the back. Probably go Sanchez in goal. Midfield, Palmer, Salah, Murphy. Yeah, Palmer, Salah, Murphy, and then up front, Isak, Strand, Larson. Okay, so you probably want 2 mids. You could get rid. I think Saka gone for sure, and then Rodgers. I mean, you could keep, but I quite like Mamouche for the future. I'd probably move Rodgers just because Mamouche has nice fixtures going forwards. City's fixtures are nice. Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Fulham versus Villa, Fulham, Bournemouth, Tottenham, Man United. I mean, both are nice. Yeah, you could go either way here. If you like Rodgers more than Mamouche. I'd definitely go Saka out. What did you say? Saka to Diaz? Yeah, I like Saka to Diaz. I'd probably go to Mbumo just because his fixtures are really nice going forwards as well. Like 35 to 38, real nice. You obviously have to use... Is this your last week of AM? Let me just double check. That's the last week. Yeah, last week. Okay, so you don't have to move Arteta. So yeah, I think I would do Saka to Mbeumo. Diaz is fine, but I don't love Liverpool's games going forwards. I think he's obviously rotation risk. Then your other move, yeah, Marmoush, you could do Marmoush to Welbeck is fine. Don't hate that as a pick. But Brighton fixtures going forwards. Newcastle, Wolves, Liverpool, Tottenham, they're all right. They're all right. But I do really like the City fixtures going forwards. I do really like them. So I'm not sure whether I would do that. I kind of prefer my moosh for City's fixtures over Welbeck going forwards. I'm on Wildcard next week. Oh, I can get mobility then, surely. Sorry. I didn't see that. Yeah, okay then. Well then if you're moving for this week, Saka to Diaz, good. That makes my life a lot easier. Marmoush to Welbeck is nice. And so then the way you think about the defender, right, is if you're picking like a Fulham defender, say you pick like Sessegnon or Robinson, for example, if they keep a clean sheet, you get +2. If they don't keep a clean sheet, you get -2, because ultimately they're going to get the 2 appearance points. They're not going to be a team that concede more than 2 goals and lose points. So your -4 is effectively either a -2 or a +2. So if you're willing to take that risk and you think there's even a potential upside for somebody like a Sessegnon of getting some attacking returns, or a Robinson getting some attacking returns, then you take the hit and you get the extra player. But really that hit's only a -2 hit rather than a -4 hit if you think about it like that. Beezy, Leno, Sarr, Nuri, Livramento, Cucurella, Virgil, Zabani, Luis Diaz, Palmer, Barnes, Mbeumo, Salah, Isaac, Cunha was 0 in the bank. Yeah, what was... trips to Livramento to Trippier. Yeah, Van Dijk down, bro. Get Van Dijk out of that side. You're not even going to start him. You start 8 Nuri, Trippier and Cucurella. Just Livramento to Trippier and Van Dijk down to somebody else. No worries, T-Tap. Guys, if I'm helpful, please like the video, subscribe down below to the channel. It will really help me as a small creator. I would really appreciate any help you can give. Yeah, I think Beasley just Livramento to Trippier, Virgil downgrade. Easy money. And Raul up to Wood. Is that where you're going? You're saying Virgil would then be 3.9? Yeah, then maybe you just go Mbeumo to like either Mbeumo or Palmer to like a Mitoma or a Clivert. Or a Bowen. No, maybe not a Bowen. But you could downgrade Mbeumo to a Bowen. Alex, team ID 1295169. Is it time to go subscribers only? I think it is. Last half an hour, so when everyone comes in. I'm going to go subscribers only. Alex. Wildcard last week, eh? Oh, you've got bench boost triple captain available. Mitoma will get an assist at best. Palmer will cook today. Brycey. Damn, Brycey, what's the damn? Because I turned on subscribers only. You're a subscriber, mate. What are you damning? Subscribe, mate. That's double win mode, Amos. Yeah, it's just because we're getting great. I really enjoy everyone's getting on good. Oh my god, tongue tied myself. Good comments. How can the streamer tongue tie myself? So yeah, just to encourage you guys to subscribe, help the channel out as well. Hey Yaz. Sorry, Alex. You also got Bradley, Nico Aitnuri at the back. And then you got Diaz, Salah, Barnes, +1. And then Strand Larson, Isak. So you need 2 in. I don't know how many frees you have. Let's try and... How many frees do you have? It doesn't say how many frees. It's a bit annoying. Because you wildcarded last week, I can't tell. But I know you can carry transfers through wildcard. So I'm guessing... Sorry, man. I actually was just showing the wrong screen as well. I wasn't showing the last guy either on the screen. So sorry, guys. You already got Sessegnon in this week. Okay, so you got Bradley, Sessegnon, Nico Aitnuri. Who's Sessegnon in for? For Kiwior or Guardiola? For Kiwior, probably, I'm assuming. Beezy, you could go. You could actually go to Sessegnon as well, by the way, on your bench. Great option. For Zabani. In for Kiwior? Okay, cool. So you got 4-3-2 at the moment. So I'd probably just move Saka, mate. Just move Saka here. Saka for Mbumo. Saka for Mitoma. Saka for Diaz. Oh no, you got Diaz. Saka for Mbumo. Saka for Mitoma. Saka for Kluivert. Personally, I'd go Mbumo just because of great fixtures upcoming and you don't have another wild card or a free hit. I think like the fixtures are real nice. Don't know if I've showed my fixtures template lately, but is my team locked? Yeah, it's locked. I think so. Now you say it, you're making me nervous. You are making me nervous. I do need to have just a little continuous think. Just because you guys have made some good points today, you know. It's been good, man. It's been good. You guys have made some good points. I've had to think about them. So whether my team is locked, I would say it's probably locked. But I will have a quick think in the last 10 minutes. I'm not going to rat any of you out. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I mean, nobody really cares about my team, let's be honest. Come on. We're not here for my team. We're here for all of your guys' teams. Never 100% locked. I mean, I'm normally 100% locked, to be honest, but FPL the English ASMR. Get on your flight, mate. What are you doing? Get out of here. Get out of here. I've had enough of you in the chat, all right? Just get on your bike. Op it. Score predictions maybe soon, bruv. Always take a naughty bet on your predicts. Yeah, let's do that after the deadline, Bryce, because, mate, it's too much going on the deadline. Lakshan, Arnie, Barnes or Murphy? Murphy for a captaincy, Barnes to start. Barnes if no captaincy. Sorry, Bryce. Help me. Kepa, Leno or Pope? Who's keeping the clean sheet? Kepa. Kepa's keeping the cleanie. Yaz, do you think it's worth taking a -8 and field 10, 11 players instead of playing my free hit? Who are the 10 out of 11, Yaz? What's the team ID? I probably would say nah. I would say nah. I don't think so. Not for the last game week. I mean, I was thinking like maybe 37 if you're keeping it for that. Blank, then maybe. But a -8 is not that bad. -8 is not that bad. You could free hit in 37. Could free hit in 37. Especially if you have a lot of like City, Palace, Villa, Forest players. But you probably don't if you only take him on -8. No, I think I'd free hit, mate. I think I'd free hit. Did I end up taking Kluivert out? Yeah, I did, mate. I took him out. He's gone. He's gone the ski. Alex, perfect. Thanks, mate. No worries, mate. No wazzers. Did that help? Are you happy? What are we deciding on, Alex? What have you gone for? Keep me in the game, mate. I'm interested. I want to know what you guys' teams are. Boss Hill playing Bumo or Bowen. I don't know, mate. Why are you asking me? It's not like I do this. It's not like I'm on stream to tell you what to do or anything. Make your own decision. I'm joking. I'd probably play... that's quite cool. Bowen this week. And Bumo long term. But Bowen this week. Ease at cap, good idea. Ease at cap, nice idea. Don't mind it. Prefer Murphy cap. Just for a bit of bounce. Just a bit of change up. Yeah, I mean, Luca, if you're captaining Ease at, then I might take him out of my free hit team, to be honest. He might have to go. Yeah, what was I going to say, guys? Yeah, this is sort of like... I know if you ignore 33, so I haven't changed it. Yeah, his current team, Verbruggen, Raya. Raya, yeah, okay. Verbruggen in goal. Bradley, Livramento, Milenkovic. Salah, Murphy. Nah, man, I'd definitely free hit, yes. I'd free hit for sure. Should I get Cunha with a -4? Yeah, Cunha with a -4. The problem for me with Cunha, if you're not on free hit, he's a bit of a risky pick because whether he continues to be picked further down the line, given this rumours with Man United and the fact that, you know, he might have already sorted out the contract, Wolves might just end up we don't need to play you. We want to think towards the future and make sure that we get our team in rhythm, playing together, understanding each other, and like Cunha is no longer a part of those plans. So I probably wouldn't take Cunha for a -4 just because of that. Strand Larson for a -4, maybe. Wolves fixtures are, as you can see, pretty decent. This is the much better FDR than the new FDR that we've got with the now we got the dark green. I've always had the dark green. FPL has been on my streams. They've been copying my fixture difficulty rating. They've decided that mine looks great and they should change theirs. I was like, come on. Bowen, who I always think to play as well. Hill, yep, cool. No Pope. I don't think it's like a great defensive fixture for Newcastle against Ipswich. I think Ipswich can score. I mean, I think they are missing a lot of players, Ipswich. They're obviously missing 8 through injury, 1 through suspension, and 2 potential injuries as well. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle for sure. But I would say their attack is actually reasonable. Luca, whoever I captain will blankets a virus. Yeah, I know. That's why. Let me know who you're captaining early doors so I can get them out of my free hit, mate. Isak Gonski. I don't see Chelsea scoring big, which is Cucurella likes much more than Sanchez and Jorgensen when they have the same clean sheet odds. If you are thinking clean sheet odds, get off my channel. Get off my channel. Clean sheet odds is the stupidest thing in the history of the planet that's ever existed. Yeah, I don't see Chelsea scoring big. The reason I got Kuka is A, for the clean sheet, but also with Malo Gusto out for Chelsea, and this is why ignore clean sheet odds, it's likely that he's normally the one that inverts high up the pitch into like the attacking midfield 10 role for Chelsea from right back. But given he's not playing, Cucurella is much more likely then to be the one inverting up high to the 10 role, getting into the box, especially if Everton are having a strong defence and he's going to get higher and higher. Even though they have a strong defence, it means that Chelsea probably have a lot of the ball, and therefore, you know, their defenders are more likely to take more risks and go forwards because they're attacking and Everton are defending a lot of the time. So I think Cucurella is a nice pick. And Sanchez is also the biggest mistake merchant in the world. Thoughts on Kudus captaincy? Number one shout, mate. Captain the GOAT. Captain the GOAT. For anyone that is not Luca, do not captain Kudus. Shaunak, thoughts on Mbumo /Barnes for Murphy? If you're on free hit, I'd play Barnes over Murphy. Not captain, but just about. Keep Murphy over Mbeumo. If it's a transfer, then definitely don't make a transfer. But free hit, yeah, fine. 3 hours of no FPL, you're going to struggle, mate. You better download my stream for the flight, mate. It's a 4-hour stream, you'll be all right. Yasmin, why Sessegnon over Robinson? Because Sessegnon plays on the right wing at the moment for Fulham, so he's got that attacking potential as well. Even though he's noted as a defender for FPL, so he'll still get the clean sheet points. He'll probably come off after 60, 70 minutes as well, so it's likely that if Fulham do concede a late goal, he would already be substituted off and still get the clean sheets. There is a downside to Sessegnon, as there is potential that he might not start and they start Harry Wilson on that right wing role instead. But I would say about 60, 65% he starts. Cheetos, do you think I should get Kirkes or Ain't Nuri? Thank you for answering my previous questions. With a -4, I'd probably go Ain't Nuri with a -4. But if you think of it this way, it's like a -2, right? So if you think like Leicester are definitely not going to score 2 goals, at least 2 goals. So then if they score 1, Ain't Nuri gets 2 points. It's a -2. But if they keep a clean sheet, he gets 6 points. It's a +2. So it's really like, if you think of it as a -2 or a +2, are you willing to take that gamble? And then obviously, like, he might get some attacking returns, or Leicester maybe score a second goal. I think unlikely. So I think you've got to think of it that way. If you're taking a defender hit, you've got to be like -2v +2 is the risk that you're taking. If you pick one that's, you've got to pick the person who you think is most likely to keep clean sheet. If Sessegnon is benched for Wilson, straight face, yeah, I mean, is what it is. I'll take it. Can you get him out of your team, Luca? Because then he'll definitely start. Just get rid of him. You play Robinson, and then I'll be happy. Star Masterclass, mark my words. Yeah. I'm nervous about that. I do think that's a good pick. I do think that's a good pick. I'm going to stick with my guns. Stick with Kepa. Stick with my guns. Mitoma or Bowen? Mitoma this week. Jeremy. Blitz Overwatch. I mean, clean sheet shots in said they'll both get. Yeah, I understand Blitz Overwatch. I was only joking with you, mate. Don't take me too seriously all the time. Yeah, I understand. I understand what you mean. Yeah, I tried to explain Kukurea why I think attackingly he's got good chances against Everton. That's why I went for him, really. All my defenders I've gone for because I think of all the defenders this week, they're the most likely to get offensive returns. The only other one that was close was Fabian Schär, maybe Kieran Trippier. That's my honest opinion. And Wilson is the best super sub in the world. Surely he doesn't start. Yeah, I agree. But he'll start if you put Sessegnon in your team. So get Sessegnon out of your team so I can have the points for him. Tempted Strand Larsen over Cunha. Valid differential. Definitely a valid differential. Raul / Wood for free hit team. Shaunak. I would go for Wood, but I think it's close. You Biggie 2 West. What's up, mate? How are ya? You gone with Sess? Yes, the big Sess. I think he's good. I know lots of people will have him, but I think he's a great pick. Mitoma or Kudus? Oof, mate. Kudus. Salah or Kudus? Still Kudus. Kudus or God? Probably. Close call. Probably Kudus. Anyone listening? Don't pick Kudus. Don't listen to me. Only for my team and for Luca's team. We are the only ones that will pick Kudus. He is the GOAT of FPL. Cheetos, to be honest, I don't want Cunha as I have Mbeumo and Bowen, and I don't want to bench one of them, but I'm afraid Cunha will fire because I think many people have him this game week. He might not even play. I don't. You definitely shouldn't be, unless you have a wild card to play next week. I wouldn't be bringing in Cunha. If you do have a wild card, you can bring him in for -4. If you don't, it's very risky, mate. Very risky. You got Man City next week, Brighton the week after, Palace, Brentford. Yo, Hashim, what's up, bro? Ing6 Alob, new account. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry, Mitoma or Iwobi? Jeremy. Still Mitoma for me. Just look at my team. That'll tell you the answer. Matoma's in there. Matoma v Clivert was a tough one. B2US, good luck. Fingers crossed another green arrow. Reclaim top spot of my mini league with 41 points lead. So this week is vital to finishing the league off. 41 point. Ooh, that is nice, mate. Yes, knock him out. Knock him out. You want to see my mini league? Palmer to Matoma pick looks tempting. Don't. This is the big one. Should I like Evan Ilson or Cunha instead of Mateta? Are you on free hit or just on normal? If just normal, it's kind of a tough one. No free hit. It's kind of a tough one because there's a chance that like Cunha just gets out of the starting lineup. By the way, guys, 9 minutes to deadline. Try and lock in your teams. Last minute questions. You don't have it. Yeah. It's a chance that Cunha just like confirms he's going to Man United next year. Paul, legends. Be like Paul. Be a member of the channel. Green arrow incoming for Paul. Thank you, Paul. He was my first ever member of this channel last week. Really appreciate you. Murphy captaincy. Big time. Big time. Big time. Big time differential. Let's go. Good luck. I've got to support that, mate. I've got to support that. I've got 2 members on this channel now, Paul and Niels. Appreciate both of you. Shout out to you guys. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Paul. Hashim. I'll probably go Evan Nilsson, mate. Just because I think Cunha's got the risk of just being binned from the team completely if he signs. Strand Larson could be an interesting pick. We know each other. What do you mean? We know each other, Murphy. What, you know Murphy? Oh, South African. Razor. No way. Biggie T West and Paul. That's crazy. Oh, you and Niels. Really? Amazing. Legends. You're my 2 goats, mate. You know each other from South Africa and New Zealand, and you're my 2 members. Wilson is available, but they haven't said whether he's available to start or just off the bench. Yeah, Paul, mate, absolute legend. I didn't know that you and Niels knew each other. Where do you guys know each other from? Guys, 7 minutes to deadline. Lock in your teams. Razor, hello, I'm on a free hit this week. Should I start in Burmo, Wood or Clivert? Yeah, I don't really trust Raul Jimenez either. I'd probably start Wood. But, yeah, I don't know how you have all of them. Makes me stressed. That you... No, there's no way that you're only starting... You're definitely starting 2 of those. You only have 1 attacker on your bench. Start Wood and... I don't know, Mbeumo and Clivert's a toss-up. Nish, as ever, mate. 7 minutes to go. You're back in the chat. Suku for my team. Should I start Allison or Sarr with 8 Nuri starting? Could bring in Kepa. It'd be Sarr or Kepa for me, 6. Elliot, Wong and Mbeumo or Palmer. And Mbeumo. I'm going to make quick calls now, guys. Salah captain or Isak? Salah, unless you're trying to catch somebody, then Isak. Nish, welcome back, my guy. Paul from other chats. I met Niels on Golden Goal content creator chat. Golden Goal, nice. And now you come over to me. I've overtaken him, have I? That's what I like to hear. Taking out Golden Goal. That's a big dub for me. He seems like a nice guy. He's got some like side YouTube channel, which is quite interesting as well. Flexo, is Sarah Mateta for Mbeumo and Wood worth it? -4. Yes, it is. Flexo, I'd make that transfer. Would you start Kukurea for 8 Nuri, Trippier, Robinson, Salah, Diaz, Mbeumo, Cunha, Strand, Larson, Isak? I probably would for Trippier. Well, I would for Trippier and Robinson, but I would say for Trippier. I mean, look at my team. Cook's in there. Tom is a great guy. Been following him from last season. Makes great content, just like you. Legend. Yeah, he's got a good side channel. They also stream a little bit earlier. We have a struggle competing with the big content creators because YouTube just sucks at pushing stuff out. But us small guys do a lot of good stuff, good analysis, and we can talk to you guys a little bit more because we have stuff like this. Big Aussie is taking him out. Let's go, taking him out. And what Tom? And there are 2 Toms. There are a couple of Toms. They're both good blokes, actually. I don't know them. But yeah, anyway. Best differential captain and Boomer captain? No, best differential captain, Murphy. So Isak's probably differential. Cunha's probably a differential. Diaz is probably a differential, but Murphy. Salah didn't work out last week. We still got a 77k green arrow. Awesome. Yeah, I know. But do you know what? Salah felt like it was going to work out. You know, after the first guy's blank, those first 2 weeks, I was watching that game going, Salah, well, come on, bro. And he had a couple of chances as well. But what's his name? The left back. Young lad. Anyway, Leicester. Luke Thomas. What do you want, Dad? Dad, I'm on stream. Relax, bro. Relax. Yeah, Luke Thomas defended him really well, to be honest. 4 minutes till deadline, guys. Make your last moves. Nish. Move my AM chipped is how from Glasner. For once, I want to play safe. Nice. Cunha captain. Can do. Don't mind it. I think he either plays or doesn't play. Carlson said, if you're ever confused who to captain, pick Salah. Magnus. Are you a chess fan as well? Yeah, I'm a big chess fan. Rate that. Magnus is his goat. FPL Tom was the first content creator I followed. Wow, that's mad. Well, I appreciate you also following me, mate. And I'm going to overtake all of them. That's my goal. I like them all, but I'm going to take them all out. I'm going to take them all out with great content and great picks. So follow me. Become a member just like Paul. Be like Paul. That should be a meme. Be like Paul. Got to meme that one day this week. Pope versus Leno. Probably Leno for me, Shalnak. Would Strand Larson be a better option than Cunha? Nah, I'd probably just go Cunha and just have whoever's first on your bench as the next pick. Adam, in my mini league fantasy cup, I was tied with my opponent because Burn and Boomer won the tiebreaker. Let's go, mate. Let's go. That's what I like to hear. Good news. Big fan. 3 minutes to deadline. 100% go on and beat them all. Thanks, Paul. Legend. Here's Luca coming in with the late team. I've got to show you this team. Can anyone see this? Oh, absolute joke. I don't know if you can see. He's got the man in there. Mo Kudus. There he is. There's no way he's keeping him in there. There's no way. And he's got Spence as well. What a legend. Salah scored 21 points in a return fixture. He did 2 goals, 2 assists. Tottenham aren't going to change their style of play. That's why I've gone for him. Sessegnon v Trent. Sessegnon 100%. Get Trent out of that side, Yasmin, right now. Right now, get him out. He's not even going to start, probably. I'm willing to die on the hill of Trent this week. Not going to start. Going to play 20 minutes off the bench. Even if he starts, not going to do anything. I'll die on the hill. All right, last 2 minutes, guys. Clivert and Bumo on the bench. And Bumo, 6. I think I'll go Clivert. Unless you already have Evan Nilsson, then maybe go and Bumo for a bit of mix and match. And you get the late game, which is like the Friday, so you still get to have some thought that your week might recover. Even the last game, and Bumo might help you out. So, yeah, it's pretty 50-50. It's more of a feel, I think, that one. Yeah, like to get a green arrow this week. Like the channel for a green arrow. Gone for Sarah over Kepa last second. Feels. That's all right, bro. Don't mind that. That's all right. I'm sticking with Kepa. Actually, let me just... Shit, I should just check my team. Do I have the correct team here? Oh my God, 1 minute. You're making me stress. Murphy bench, Salah captain, Matoma in there. Okay, I'm cool. Oh my God, you guys just made me mass panic because I just made some changes and I hadn't thought about my team. That was mass panic. 1 minute to go. Lock in your teams. No more questions. I'm in panic mode. Are we locked? No, here's my team. I'm still there. I'm still running. That's not my team. This is my team. Salah cap. Oh, are we gone? We are done. The game is updating and will be available soon. We are locked and loaded. I can show you my final team. We are locked. Star, you have the same team. Let's go, mate. Support me. Support me. Green arrow for you, mate, this week. That means. Let's hope I get one too. Kudos. If you actually have Kudos in, I'm gonna wet myself, Luca. It's so funny. Good luck, Paul. Thanks a lot, mate, as ever. Hashim, sure to tune in on the other account next week. No worries, mate. Tune in on all your accounts, mate. Put them all going at the same time. Get those stream numbers up for me. Love it. Big fan of that. Like them on all your accounts. Subscribe on all your accounts. Big fan of all of that. Green arrows this week. Let's go, lads. Let's go. Check DMs. Oh my God, your team's actually locked with Kudos, Luca. Come on. I've got to watch that game. When is that game? Is that tonight? That's tonight. I've got to watch that. I've got to stay up and watch that game. Please like and subscribe as you leave. Yep, legends. Do you know what, lads? You're all legends. All of you guys in this chat. Big fan. Big fan. Let me subscribe to you guys. Create some accounts that I can subscribe to. Follow me on socials if you want to have a chat in the week or anything. Actually, no, just reply to my YouTube comments. Yeah, comment on my videos in the week if you do watch them, guys. The engagement really helps the channel. Like and comment is fantastic for me. Appreciate all of you guys that are here that have watched this channel this week. Another great stream, another fantastic stream, and just probably the best thing I've ever seen on stream is Luca with Kudos in the team. So I've never seen anything like it. The goat is in. And that Liverpool Spurs game is going to be huge tomorrow night. Almost as huge as Golden State v Houston tomorrow. Big game. Yeah, good luck, guys. Chelsea Everton at 9:30. I will be probably not watching because I don't want to see Palmer score goals. It almost feels like it would have been a nice one to just pick Palmer just so I can watch him. Who do I go for in the NBA? I'm a Golden State fan. To be honest, like, I'm a massive fanboy. Like, I was a Steph Curry fan and a LeBron James fan for years. Like, probably since I was, very young. But, like, I never really had, like, I don't have a team like I do for football that I support. But I support Golden State Warriors, but just because of Steph. But I also like the Lakers because of LeBron. Big game, huge game tomorrow. If Jimmy Butler's out, we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble without Jimmy. Jimmy Buckets is our man. But the thing is, I don't think Houston just don't look very good, man. Like, I don't rate them. Well, they're struggling against a Golden State team without Jimmy Buckets. Man, we were rubbish without him, and they got off to a good start in that game too, and then just sort of like had nothing. Like, we were competing with them with like Santos, and Pajemski was dead. Who else was playing in that game? We had some, like, Moses Moody was doing bits. We might be finished. We've been so good. Well, if he's done, we're done. Which is a shame because it's actually awesome watching Steph. And I do love Anthony Edwards as well, but I've got to support LeBron, so I'm struggling to. That series is a tough one for me. I was glad Golden State avoided the Lakers because I hate when they play each other in the first round. Kuminga is getting held off. Yeah. I don't know what Steve Kerr's doing with Kuminga, man. Man, he's getting traded in the summer. I don't know who they're getting, but he's getting traded. No way he's staying there. No way he's staying there. I used to do fantasy basketball, actually, not stream it, but I used to play it. I was actually second in the world one month. It was amazing. If I'd streamed it at that point, I'd have been the most popular streamer ever. But too much to stream basketball matches every day, I'd be dying. I already struggle with football, like going from work, I'm absolutely dead. The other night I got home at like 9 o'clock, I was like, need to get a video out for the lads today. Dying. Anyway. We don't really need to stick around for team news for Chelsea Everton. Also, I'm starving, I haven't eaten. Just put my team up. Let me just quick search on Twitter while we're talking NBA. Anthony Edwards is amazing. Who do you... are you're a Golden State fan as well, Luca? Or? Follow any other teams? Or just follow basketball in general? I love Steve Kerr, to be honest, but he's wrecking Kuminga right now. Wow, I'm seeing some content creators teams that are, like I wouldn't be going for them. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but Palmer and Raul Jimenez seem like odd picks to me. I mean, Palmer especially, but and Boomo against Forest as well. I'm surprised that for them, like a lot of them are just like data people. Weird that they picked those players. Golden State as well. Nice, man. Yeah, I'm a big Golden State fan these days. I'm sad that Clay left, but I mean, it got us Jimmy, so probably worked for the best. Any team news? I haven't seen anything. I've seen teams with a Newcastle triple up of Joelinton, Guimaraes and Isak. Wow. Actually, Bruno Guimaraes is quite a nice pick. I didn't really think about him, but he's quite a nice pick. He does quite a lot for Newcastle. Very involved. I wonder whether that will be a big differential this week. Guimaraes. Golden State forward Draymond Green is the winner of the NBA Hustle Award. Is that a new award this year? Hell, he should have won DPOY, man. As a Saints fan, think he will score? Raul Jimenez? You think, Six? I think Southampton have been getting better. What do you think the main... Do you have any like thoughts on what you think the main changes have been for Southampton over the last, like, I don't know, say 3-4 weeks? You've been getting... I know big Paul up top, obviously, has helped you keep the ball. Oh, you guys to score. Oh. Yeah, that's why I didn't go Leno. Just felt like everyone was pumping on Southampton. Everyone was pumping on Southampton, but Southampton were getting better. Been getting better. Clay was your idol? Yeah, man. Clay was epic, bro. Clay is just a cool guy, man. Clay's someone you'd want to go and have a beer with. You know what I mean? Just chill guy. Yeah, what do you think your changes are, Six, recently that have made Southampton? Because I feel like you guys have been a lot better over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Well, I think we'll blank. We're actually good at scoring. If we lose, we normally score 1 or 2. Don't know if I'd say you're good at scoring, mate. All right, come on the goat, Mo Kudus. All right, guys, I'll probably get ahead as well. Unless any last questions. Hope all of you guys have a fantastic game week. Hope we see a bunch of green arrows. Thanks so much for liking, for subscribing, for being members, and for generally just tuning in and chatting crap with me. Always enjoyable. That's why I streamed for 4 hours this week. It's been over 4 hours I've done this stream. So, yeah, have a great game week, everybody. Best of luck. This has been your English Aussie. Let's go the GOAT, Mo Kudus and Salah. Cheers, guys. Catch you later.